The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
Is that where you were? You kind of
Yeah.
stopped existing.
Yeah, no, I had to go and figure out why my dog had just randomly started screaming bloody murder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, just like a BRB or something. We thought you pooped and then just fell in the toilet.
I died. That's what happened. I died.
That's unfortunate, but hey, it happens to the best of us. Hey, everybody.
Are we on the
Yeah,
line?
We are. Yeah, we're up.
Well, that's pretty cool. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Sunset City, a Sonic podcast for the classic, modern, and exhausted age. With me, Nick, we also have Channel Pub. How you doing?
Hey, man.
We also have Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cirrus is alive, amazingly. We started the show without you, but you showed up just in time.
You know, I think that's just the theme for most of today right now.
We kind of, I mean, we're going to start adapting the Top Gear mentality of just like, well, look, they're on the side of the road. Well, see you later. We're going to keep going. You can catch up eventually. It'll be fine. This is fine.
As long as we can have a great, friendly Sunset City volleyball scene at some point, then we'll be okay.
I have no idea what you're referencing.
Have you ever seen Top Gear?
No.
Yeah.
You should watch Top Gear. It's a car show. And
I'm already uninterested.
I cannot
Yeah.
wait to have the American
Do you think I
explain
like
Top
cars?
Gear to me.
I'm talking to Wayne. I assume you've seen Top Gear because you're British.
I don't religiously watch Top Gear. The funny,
just-
the weird thing is, like, yeah, what makes it is the camaraderie between James May, Hammond, and Clarkson. But, like, I think James May is the only one of them that I don't find absolutely insufferable. Clarkson is
I
just
love
an
him.
awful, awful man. Like, he's just terrible.
I mean, in general, yeah, but I love them.
and you just know, the dude would absolutely reek of cigarette smoke.
He does kind of look like that.
He is the human cigarette.
He does look, well, not even like the cigarette. He's the burnt butt of the cigarette.
Dude, you can see the tobacco ash just seeping out of his flesh and hair.
So we're a Sonic podcast.
For the,
And,
For the
we
classic
classic
and
age.
modern age.
We talk a lot about Sonic the Hedgehog. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. We have a somewhat serious topic to talk about later today. I don't know if it's actually serious or not. It's not like anything terrible has happened. Just talking about being a fan and interacting with other fans. But before we get into all that, we should talk about a little bit of news that has happened. So Comic-Con, that's going on, and as of yesterday, we got our first little bit of news from them. We're getting a new IDW miniseries, Scrapnik Island, by one Daniel Barnes, who I've seen all over Twitter. Very pleasant dude. And I'm really excited for it because it's a really fun idea where Sonic and Tails just end up on an island full of busted up badniks that want to kill them.
Wait,
And what?
that sounds familiar. We've been here before.
Yeah,
Have we been here before?
Yeah, no. It was in Archie. There was an island full of of decommissioned badniks, and that was where they brought that stupid bad Sonic, the Metal Sonic thing.
Pseudo Sonic. Yes.
Pseudo Sonic, that one.
Yeah. No, that was that's where they took Pseudo Sonic, and in a weird parallel, this is where they're bringing back Mecha Knuckles from Sonic Advance. And if you pay attention to that little cover that kind of hints at it, I mean, obviously, you see the Knuckles hat, which is a pleasure to see again, but they also have the shovel claw on him.
Yeah.
I think that's such a brilliant way to reincorporate a lot of the weird upgrades from Sonic Adventure. Just put it on the shitty robot. Because I hate the Mecha Knuckles design, but I'm super excited to see him again.
To be fair, he did have very, very weirdly covered gloves, or weirdly colored gloves in advance. So it makes sense they're just you know what? Let's just go all the way with that. It's not
I mean,
just
he already has the
three-colored now.
fighting gloves, right? That's
Yeah.
the color of the fighting gloves. So
Yep.
that's incredible. And if you look at the cover, you can see just right behind Sonic the head of Mecha Sonic. So that's the clearest look we've gotten for that robot design in a long, long time. And I guess I don't know if that is just a fun little reference or if that's the new canon. That Mecha Sonic is indeed part of the modern timeline and is just wreckage on an island somewhere.
So, which how many variant covers do we have for this right now?
Oh, 3 or 4? I don't know. There's so many variants every month now, man. It's just hard to keep track of them.
Yeah, because I know that like depending on which one you're looking at, there's obviously different details we're actually going to see for this, and I'm just curious how much information we'll be able to glean out of this, especially since issue 50 was already like really, really good. I want to see what they do with this.
Well, I think this is a good step forward. I'll probably say it whenever I review issue 51, and Pups heard it because he's thankfully editing my issue 50 episode. It's time to move on to new stuff. It's time to let some of these themes just let them rest. Carry on. Let Evan and Daniel and these newer writers, let them kind of take the reins and see what new ideas they can play around with. I really love this concept. And Black Yakuzu's saying here, and I didn't read this anywhere else, but he's saying that the island is made up of Death Egg ruins, which is a fucking brilliant
That would
idea.
be a really good detail.
Do you think they need a knife that they found in the desert to figure out where the Death Egg ruins are?
Damn it, how did I know that was coming?
Oh, God, Star Wars is garbage. Anyway.
Rise of Mechanuckles.
Is Pup, are you just like, what are you doing in the comments right now?
Sonic XLR8 asked if they could have a wing and a fry, and I just thought I'd let them know that the food is not for everyone, and that wings are $3.99 and fries are $1.99.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we gotta have this posted somewhere.
I don't have much
Those are
to
really cheap for wings, to be fair.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's a
$3.99
good deal. It's a Friday thing. Well, anyways, I don't have much to add to the conversation surrounding this because I'm still kind of trying to catch up. But man, issue 50 is good. But like,
I mean, like, it doesn't really have anything to do with what the storyline is currently, though. It's just like all we have is the concept right now.
yeah, I don't know. It just sounds, it's more Sonic. So yeah, I'm game. The main things I'm just looking forward to hearing from Comic-Con are whether or not we'll actually get our fabled Henry Cavill Superman announcement. And the Spider-Man freshman year promo beginning.
When should we be hearing about? Because I've been hearing the rumors about Henry Cavill. When do you think that's?
I
Gonna
mean,
be?
at latest, we're going to hear about it on like Sunday or something, right? I would imagine. Like,
I can't imagine they would wait till Sunday to.
no,
drop
but like I'm just saying, by then we'll know. Like
Yeah, because if it hasn't happened by then it's not happening. At least not there.
I hope it does.
Well,
I really, really hope it does.
We just have to figure out when DC's Hall H presentation is, and that's really what we got to pay attention to. That's about it. I imagine that's today, because Thursday's usually the pre-preparation show.
Oh yeah,
So,
no, they're just doing
smaller
the quiet stuff for now. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, if they announce that Cavill's back as Superman, then it's like, okay, I can rest easy when it comes to DC. But this isn't a DC podcast, unfortunately. So, yeah.
That was only an error we made once.
I feel like we've had through the week that I'm not really recalling. Like, I don't know if we've gotten like new little bits of information about Well, I guess we might have a release date for Frontiers.
The
Do we
same
actually
day as
have
God of War Ragnarok, which would be really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, you don't think that Sonic the Hedgehog, known favorite and most consistent video gaming brand, can't keep up with God of War?
I would say that as far as Sega are concerned, they probably see it as very different audiences, which I guess is a testament to how little they understand.
I was going to say, like, I feel
actual
like it's the
demographic.
same. I feel like it's almost the same audience.
I don't know. Like,
I don't know. I
There's an
listen in terms
overlap.
of the
But-
video game sphere. I feel like Sonic's been losing his good graces lately. I think it'll do well no matter what, but I think sooner or later that steam's gonna run dry.
There's a definite overlap because, yes, there are plenty of adults that love Sonic, and, like, there's a lot of adults that are going to be pressed when they, like, get into their local GameStop or whatever, and are like, I've been saving up for God of War Ragnarok. Am I going to buy Sonic Frontiers as well? No. Like, that money's hard earned. Get the fuck out, Sonic.
I can tell you right now that if those games both come out on the same day and I only have enough money for one, I'm not choosing Sonic.
So here's a couple things. First off, I'm noticing in the comments, and yeah, I heard you guys loud and clear. Like it might be coming out in December. We don't have an official release date, regardless. We just don't have one until Sega actually comes out and says something. We're going off of what we're seeing from listings here. What bums me out, and I feel like this is the clearest indication for me, being the old man that I am. This is why I'm such a snooty little bitch about like keeping Sonic as pristine as possible, because there was once a time in my life where if a Sonic game was coming out, you steered the fuck clear of that. And that's just, it's not the case anymore, man. Like, I would love to see God of War and Sonic in the same conversation. And whether there's overlap or not, like, replace him with Mario, right? Like, all of a sudden, then it's like, who should move out of the way for who in that case? If there was a brand new Mario game coming out the same day as God of War, like, that's an entirely different conversation, where I feel like a lot of us who just like a lot of video games in general, like, yeah, we see Frontiers going up against God of War. My immediate reaction is move Sonic. Get that the fuck out of the way. Are you out of your minds?
That
think
said,
it's,
though, God of
there's
War is PlayStation exclusive, isn't it?
Yes.
So
Yes.
Sonic will at least be able to capture the other markets, at the very least, I would imagine.
The only issue you run into, though, is that gamers do not have unlimited funds.
Yeah.
And unless you're doing a mobile game, you cannot rely on whales, right? Though there is something to be said about releasing two games for two drastically different audiences very close together. Sometimes the fandoms of those games can really surprise you. If anybody remembers Doom Crossing, when Animal Crossing and Doom were both releasing on the Switch very, very, very close together, sometimes you get events like that, which should not happen or work, and just do. But that's a rarity. I don't expect us to get random stuff with Kratos and Sonic palling around just because of that.
It was one of those things where, like, I feel like they almost didn't even have to market those things as hard because the community was just doing it for them.
Oh yeah.
What is this, a Bandai project?
I'm not worried about the sales figures for Sonic Frontiers in the slightest, to be honest. It's like, as far as my position in the conversation of like Sonic Frontiers release date being opposite Ragnarok, it's like, it's an acknowledgement, but I don't really have any strong feelings either way. I think it's going to be successful because, like, I think pretty much all Sonic games are successful. Like even like Sonic 06 with the bad word of mouth, that's still platinumed or whatever. And then, Sonic Forces, very popular game, even if, no one really gave a shit. And like, it
We still
released...
don't have accurate numbers for Forces, which is weird.
It released opposite all kinds of titles, but I've heard from like... And I don't know how good these sources are, but I've heard from quite a lot of people that the game was very popular among the child demographic, and I think the same will probably go for Frontiers. And I think
they did
Sega's...
the same thing for Uncharted when Generations was coming out.
Exactly, so I think Sega's really probably banking on that kid market, to be honest, as they probably always have. And it's just like, the adults will pick it up later in the bargain bin or whatever,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I just want them to do like a proper AAA push for this game if they're gonna act like this is like the next big wave of Sonic gameplay style.
Yeah, I mean, another thing worth noting is I don't think we know exactly what the price is going to be for this one, but like what I think has given Sonic a competitive edge in the past is that obviously his very recent games have been mostly budget titles, and like, Sonic Forces didn't release full price. Fucking not even Sonic Unleashed released full price, and that's a big game compared to, Sonic Colors and that. But like, the Sonic releases recently, yeah, they've been quite a bit cheaper, so it's like, you can pick up your God of War and pick up a little copy of Sonic as well if you feel like it, Whereas I think it's very much speculated, I don't know, we won't know until later, but the speculation is that this one isn't going to be a budget title, it's going to be full price. And
with all the marketing for it, I would be very concerned if I saw a $40 price tag on it.
Yeah, I mean, I was concerned when it came around to Forces. I was like, that's a bit cheaper, isn't it? Like, and I think, that's been kind of the ultimate sign of things to come, has been when Sonic games have been announced with lower price tags, with the exception of Sonic Unleashed. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But like,
I don't even remember Unleashed having a lower price tag because
I don't either.
I picked it up on the Wii, and the Wii version of the game was $50 like any other game because the Wii didn't have the extra $10 price tag over here.
let me
Yeah,
see.
I'm
not
pretty
yet.
sure it was 60 over here.
Can I ask a
Sonic
question?
Unleashed
Yeah.
cost $49.99 on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Wii upon release, with the PS2 version being only $29.99.
When did we start pretending Sonic Unleashed wasn't a mixed bag?
When that
the
generation
people
grew up a
started
bit.
growing up. Yeah,
I mean, I never personally. I mean, it's a mixed bag, but I don't think it's mixed quality wise. Like, I think
I absolutely do, and I think it doesn't really know how to structure itself. I think it's got a lot of really good highlights, but in terms of like its actual foundation and how things are split up in that game, it's kind of a mess.
well, that's up to you,
think
buddy. You
it's-
know, thank you for your contribution. You know,
No, I don't understand people that are acting like it's some fucking masterpiece and like a crown jewel in the fucking Sonic.
I'm not
Like-
acting. I genuinely think it's a masterpiece. I
He's
don't know
not
what to tell you.
talking. I mean,
Well, you have bad opinions, so I don't know
right.
what to
So
tell you.
here's the thing. All right, this is kind of what I wanted to get into, in the main talking point of today's video is trying to maybe taking a step away from Sonic opinions, because I'm fucking exhausted. And the more I talk to people, like behind the scenes, some content creators, everybody just sounds mad. Everyone sounds frustrated. Everyone sounds exhausted. And Pup, I know you've said differently, and I'll give you the floor in just a bit here, but I think this kind of started me and Wayne specifically, right? Like, we were just kind of fucking exhausted, like, for the last 2 weeks of just discussion about this hedgehog. So I wanted to kind of open the floor to that particular conversation. Like, when is it healthy to kind of just take a break, like take a step away just from a fan base, from a franchise, and just breathe for a little bit? Because like Klonoa, for instance, it was so refreshing to see people talking about this thing I've loved for 25 years and felt like nobody's ever heard of it, and everyone just seemed happy. Everyone just seemed like they were in a great mood to see this stupid little dude. And for like 2 weeks, it felt like I took a vacation from Sonic discourse. And then when we got back into the thick of it, it felt like going back to work. And I realized how frustrated I generally am when we talk about this fucking franchise.
I think, and I do want to give it a Pup here in just a quick second, but I think for me, I don't get tired of the Sonic discourse. I think what I get tired of is talking about anything Sonic related whenever somebody who really, really, really dislikes the series is around or involved. I think that's the part that I don't like. Like, yes, there's an aspect of Sonic fans being, blindly loyal and sometimes a lot of times very, very, very insufferable. But there's also an aspect of like recognizing that, okay, those somewhat toxic elements of the fandom sometimes come as a retaliation to the way everyone else views that fandom, and then it just creates a cycle. It creates a Sonic cycle.
I think the one thing I don't like is being told that my positive feelings towards something are pretending a game is better than it is. Wayne.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to target you specifically, but I'm just like, I notice this, and it feels like it's just kind of part of this cycle that we always go through, where it's like a game in the Sonic franchise just starts getting seen as better than it was, or like the thing that we need to target.
The question
again.
is, who is the arbiter of the objective quality of a Sonic game? Who is the authority on that is the question.
There is no authority on it.
Exactly. So therefore, there can be no pretending something's better than it actually is. Is that people are going to have different perspectives on it, and they're going to have different ideas of what constitutes quality and inconsistency. As I was saying with like the Sonic Forces fans last week.
Cool. Why do we hold it to any sort of standard then?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
That's exactly what you're saying, because there's no quality to strive towards, apparently,
not
because everything is
really,
subjective. So it doesn't matter if we criticize anything or not. It's all good to somebody, so that means
No, the
that
thing
it
that
just
I'm
shouldn't
saying
matter
is-
if somebody out there just thinks it's fine.
The thing that I'm saying is I think we should absolutely broadcast our opinions on the product. We shouldn't broadcast our opinions on other people's opinions.
Well, what I'm saying is that everybody just kind of heel turned their opinion on it all at once.
I don't know about that though, because I think generally the people that were positive on it are still positive on it, and the people that weren't so much, maybe they've come around. Maybe some people are less positive on it, but like opinions can be very liquid. But I think oftentimes it's the people that are talking as well. Like, I think a lot of people grow up at later times, so the conversation naturally changes because those people are growing up and they've got a different appreciation for it. You know, like
I think this is a prime example of what I'm talking about, though. I think, Wayne, what you might not have slowly realized is you're more and more in the Sonic bubble because social media is more and more enclosing you into that Sonic fandom that is, yeah, of a different age range and a different opinion. So it feels like the conversation has changed when if you take a step out of the Sonic bubble, that opinion has not changed for anybody who was there and was like, yeah, this kind of sucks. And they kind of carried on because they don't keep talking about it. They don't give a shit. Why would they?
Like I haven't found many people that like hated Sonic Unleashed and then came around to it and said, "Aha, look, it's here." What I've found more is that I've discovered more people who are positive to Unleashed because I remember when I played Unleashed, growing up as a kid, I absolutely adored that game and every aspect of it, cutscenes, like even playing the inferior Wii version of that, I still found myself enjoying every bit of it, and I would sing its praises no matter what. And I would play it just around friends and just enjoy every single aspect of that game for the most part. There's obviously stuff that I didn't enjoy as much. But I think the only difference for me is that growing up, I was one of like two people that really, really enjoyed that game within my circle. And social media has kind of steered me into circles that have more people between like YouTube, where we see like 3-hour-long videos on how Sonic Unleashed is actually like an entire masterpiece. We have opinions in the Sonic community. Like the more insular you find yourself in the Sonic community, the more you're going to find the Unleashed apologists. I don't think it always comes down to age. It does sometimes. There's certainly a pattern to these things, but I do think a lot of the time it just comes down to the fact that social media algorithms, like you said, Nick, they kind of pull you in that direction. When they know that that's the thing you're jonesing for, they will pull you that way because that's what they're designed to do.
And then we get into a room where people have two different opinions, and then we have a debate where ultimately, like, I've known Wayne's opinion on the game, and I've known Pup's opinion on the game, and what does that change when we're just arguing about this? Like, Pup, like Wayne was saying, I don't think that was a personal attack, and
no,
also
I
at the
know
same
it
time-
wasn't. I know it wasn't. I didn't take it as a personal attack, for the record.
No, I know, but then it's turning into that same conversation we have all had so many times on this show, and I just end up just kind of tired. I'm just really tired because none of it really changes at the end of the day, you know? And it's weird because, like, and I'm not naming names here, but like I've had conversations with some other content creators, and man, they are beaten the fuck down by this community sometimes. It is so unbelievably aggravating, and I think I've noticed that, like, at the end of the day, yeah, like, if you break it all down, I think people are just like, we really love this thing, and we miss aspects of it. Every one of us does, be it, you know, from the tone of Unleashed, or hell, people even miss the Werehog, or me and my whining about momentum and ball physics, and fuck, man, like, you're gonna be hearing it from like people when Frontiers comes out. I was like, man, I miss the lighter tone of colors and stuff like that. It just feels like we can't win. And when you break it down, it's just like, it just sounds like people are just frustrated. They're just tired.
I think a lot of it comes down to is that this is a problem all fandom has. every fandom that exists at all, and I could go one by one and point out, here's a problem in the history of the Steven Universe fandom, here's a problem in the history of the Star Wars fandom. Like I could go through that entire list, but it's not going to change anything. The main thing is, once you have any property, any media property at all, that grows to a sufficient size, you get this issue. You get the individual cliques who like their certain eras for something, because you get that with Star Wars. You certainly get that with Star Wars. You get the toxic response to any new creator that comes in. I'm just going to have to keep on coming to Star Wars for the comparison here. I remember every conversation about Last Jedi and the Disney Plus shows and everything going in different directions, and a lot of people just going, it's because this creator is here, or it's because George Lucas is involved X amount of ways. And it's the same conversations that happen in the Sonic fandom. It's not always that these things are just somebody else's jam, and sometimes they're not yours. What I'm mainly focused on is the fact that these conversations are not unique to Sonic. It's just an issue of having a sufficiently large fandom, which can, in some ways, can be considered a good thing. Like you don't have this problem when your fandom is super small and niche. So it is, there's an aspect of that being good. But just once you get a fandom large enough, it becomes toxic because there are more people who can be toxic that are in there. It just comes down to math, and that kind of sucks.
Wayne, you've been pretty quiet. Do you have any thoughts and opinions about this broader topic before we get into more nuanced bits and pieces?
Because I do agree. I mean, especially if we want to bring Star Wars in as a comparison, I still don't think I have ever interacted with any, one fan base as loathsome and tiresome as the Star Wars community. Jesus Christ. It's like, damn. I think Spider-Man might still be up there too with it. Sonic hasn't gotten quite to that point for me yet, but it's getting there. And I feel like any time that we get something like Sonic Forces or Sonic Origins or something where suddenly any form of criticism put towards it is defended against as if everybody railing against it is just crying for no reason, is the reason why this franchise will eventually die.
Yeah.
I also think that it kind of goes to show, because this issue is ubiquitous amongst everything that is sufficiently large. Anybody that tries to bring in the point that, like, hey, because this fandom acts this way or has this level of vitriol or has these problems, it's eventually going to implode. It's eventually going to cause this issue. It's like, no, it's really not. There is no eventuality. There's just going to be perpetual suffering.
Yeah, because
it is that way with all fandoms. There's perpetual suffering.
Yeah, I want to point out, because Demetrius is saying that Mario is not in that case. Like, it might not be an insular, Civil War situation over with Mario. It may or may not be. I'm not gonna pretend like I know there's a war between the 2D and 3D fans. I imagine since Nintendo is so good about the releases with those games, there's no real need for it, because there's like a healthy variety of gameplay styles and they polish the shit out of it. But Nintendo fans are fucking awful to everybody else. They are horrible to everybody else. They will not hear a word against their precious fucking company.
You might not see it in a lot of the core Mario games, although there is definitely a little bit of it. But as soon as you get into the spin-offs, I don't know if you start looking at the people between so Mario Strikers Battle League coming out, Jesus. Anybody who tries to paint that as what it is, which was $60 for an underwhelming piece of merchandise where they cut out content so they could divvy it out over time to make it look artificially full, it's like, yeah, dude, Splatoon fucking ruined the way Nintendo does multiplayer games. But it's just goddamn disgusting. And I do want to apologize to Pup, because he is right on the level that it's not good to call it pretending that people are liking something or that something is good or anything like that. But at the same time, it's a lot of the defensiveness against trying to point out what I do or don't like about something.
Absolutely.
It's why It's why I might never fucking do, like, I'll do a video about Sonic Adventure 1. I might not do one for Sonic Adventure 2 because people in this community don't know how to behave themselves.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't adore that game, and I don't like it as much as the first one. I would probably play Unleashed above Sonic Adventure 2. But it's like, if I try to explain myself and I try to make my case, suddenly I'm just the bad guy that week.
I appreciate you, Wayne, and I fully get exactly what you're saying here as well. Like, the thing is, there are a lot of the Sonic fan base, and I get the feeling there's probably going to be some people that have gotten me confused with that today, where it's like they cannot handle people saying something negative about the game that they like because they're worried that that's going to be some pin in the franchise in the foreseeable future. I've said myself, Sonic will not end, even if Sega does. They'll sell the IP off piecemeal, and there will be studios that want to make Sonic games. Like, there's already plenty. But, like, yeah, I think that's kind of a thing that's getting very much in the way of Sonic discussion, is an overprotectiveness over the IP. I'm quite protective of my own personal experiences with these games. I don't want to feel invalidated as, like, a fan of these games, I guess. But I'm not protective over the games themselves as such. I mean, there are times when I will kind of try and point out what I believe to be bad faith criticism. Sure, there is such a thing as that. But at the end of the day, I'm not interested in making it into a fight because it's just stupid to fight over. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I've got my own perspective on this whole matter, which is actually quite a deviation. But I think, you know, I would be more interested to hear what you guys have to say on the matter first, so I can kind of come off of that, I guess, a little bit. Like, we've already kind of touched on it with, like, Star Wars fans and other fandoms and stuff, but, like, yeah.
Yeah, just more, I'll let you go in a second, sir, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think more specific examples of, like, why I'm more recently, because, like, it comes in waves, right? Where no matter how I joke about being tired of this or whatever, we still end up talking about Sonic on or off the air. Like, I have to be like, guys, so let's wait for the fucking show. Because it just happens. It's a naturally engaging, interesting thing to talk about, partially because it is sometimes volatile. And you can have so many different opinions about this one stupid franchise. But to give more recent examples of why I'm a little bit more recently tired, because I was just thinking about, like, what Wayne said. Like, yeah, I don't want to review Sonic Adventure 2 because anybody who talks about it, and we've had them on the show, I'm thinking of Golden Bolt specifically, it's just like, what's the point of this? This is so draining. Like, I didn't like this game as much as you did. I don't think it's terrible. And that's not a good enough opinion sometimes.
Tribe mentality is what it is. Like, all tribal mentality when it comes to fandoms is bad.
And it's exhausting. And I understand where they're coming from. I understand that it's all focused around Shadow. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's all focused around Shadow and his characterization and how it's been, you know, flanderized, whatever the fuck you want to call it since then. And I don't know, man. Like, I don't like Chow Gardens. I don't play Sonic for Chow Gardens. I think Shadow's a little bit more edgy than people want to give it credit for. And I like Adventure 1 better, and I think that's okay to say. But, like, you go to Golden Bolt's comments, or you go to anybody's comments who's just like, it's fine. Or, God forbid, you don't like it, like Pro Jared. And it's just a fucking disaster zone. And then I look at, like, we talked about it last week, right? But, like, Matt McMuscles making a joke about Eggman.
Yeah.
Like, who you winning over? Who the fuck are you winning over by arguing with him there? Like, it doesn't matter if he doesn't like it or not. Like, they're not going to change Eggman's characterization at this point in Frontiers. If it's good, then the game and the franchise and the character and the writing, that's proving his opinion, you know, the unpopular one. Like, you can let that age badly on its own merits, but, like, he has good reason to feel the way he does, and that's Sonic's fault.
You know,
not his.
I had some people come in yesterday into my store, and they were bringing in a couple of systems they wanted to trade in. Whenever I hear somebody's bringing in, like, a PS4 or an Xbox or something like that, and they're asking me for a quote on it, I'm like, I gotta see it first because I can't go off of it. It looks brand new and it's basically never been touched, right?
Yeah, because everybody's console is brand new and it's never been touched.
Of course, as this couple, they were at least nicer about it than some customers. But they're pulling a PS4 out of their bag, and I'm setting it on the counter and everything, and they're telling me about how it works great, it's perfectly fine, everything like that. And I'm thinking to myself, you don't have to defend it right now. I'm looking at it anyway. It will speak for itself. The quality or condition of this will speak for itself. And then, of course, like the casing is cracked, the vents in the back are like bent out of shape. And then I turn the thing on, and the hard drive is dead, and it's turning itself off instantly. And I'm just like, yeah, that's why. That's why we
don't take your word.
Speak for itself.
Why the fuck you lying?
Yeah, it's like I feel that's the interaction. That's the kind of interaction from work I think of when I see like the people jumping on Matt McMuscles for like for not being convinced by a more serious Eggman. I'm like, just let the quality of the writing speak for itself. If he's wrong, he'll see that. Like, but nothing's going to be changed by you trying to tell him now something that he'll have to see for himself. You're just kind of painting a bad image for him. And let me tell you, it puts me in a worse mood trying to take a trade in with people constantly basically try to tell me what to think of their product before I actually can assess it for myself.
There's also an aspect that you can actually make things invariably worse when you are constantly doing that, like helicopter fandoming. Like, you're not enjoying something the right way, or can't you see all of its wonderful qualities? You will invariably, and I am sure that almost everybody in chat has had this experience once when trying to show like their favorite thing to a friend or a family member. You hyping it up might have had the opposite effect in conversation, where like you didn't actually make them more excited for the thing. You actually kind of poisoned it a bit for them.
That's I've joked about this before on the show, but like one thing that's really prominently stuck out to me was like I noticed like I was inadvertently trying to just like really talk up Sonic 3 and Knuckles to my wife because I had her try out the classic games just for ideas, for thought experiments, for stuff like that I've used for videos. And I was just like gushing about the graphics, and she just turned to me as like, wow, it's like I can't look at them myself. I was like, yeah. Fair point. Like, yeah, like it is fun to pick apart stuff. Like I appreciate people that like my literal job is giving my opinion on stuff or picking it apart and like reanalyzing what this can mean and stuff like that. And I think that's important to a point. Like, the conversations are fun to have and they're important to discuss, and it's important to take in different opinions, but also at the same time, yeah, like Wayne is saying, let the thing speak for itself, come up with your own opinions, and then bring those opinions to the table. So yeah, that's how my thoughts going with that. But yeah, like, get it in a more broader term, because Pup, you were telling us a different perspective from what I think mostly me and what Wayne and I were sharing in our DMs. I'm kind of curious about your particular thoughts about being a Sonic fan currently, or any of that fun stuff.
Yeah, so, I remember, like, we were having a discussion about what this topic would be. This is for the audience, by the way. We were having a discussion about what the topic of this week's episode would be, and it would be like when it's time to kind of take a break from the Sonic sphere a little bit, because I think, the overall echoing sentiment across the table was that we're all a little bit tired of Sonic fans, we're tired of Sonic discussion, we're tired of Sonic discourse, and we're just tired of Sonic at this point. And I kind of came in and just said, boys, call me crazy, but I'm not tired of Sonic, be that Sonic fans or whatever. And I think it might partly be desensitization. I think whoever invented the idea of a comment section is a complete and utter sociopath. You can say what you want on the internet. Here's a place where other people can tell you what they think, whether you asked for it or not.
About the thing you said.
It's psychotic. It's absolutely psychotic. But I'm glad it's there. I like it, but it is a psychotic notion. I'm kind of the opinion that all fan culture needs therapy. It's not a Sonic-specific problem, in my opinion. It's just a problem with fandoms in general. They're all a bunch of stubborn, asocial gits, as far as I am concerned. That doesn't apply to all of you. Please don't take that personally, live chat. But so kind of, I guess I brought up the example of Spider-Man when we were discussing this. I said, I have had just as bad, if not worse, experiences with like the Spider-Man fan bases, who a lot of them will be quick to tell you, "Oh, you're not a real Spider-Man fan if you like MCU Spider-Man. That's an objectively bad adaptation," or I had because I made an off-color joke on Twitter. I had Spider-Man fans trying to gather K-pop stans to share around the hashtag Channel Pup is over party, unironically, because my off-color joke convinced them that I must be some kind of predator. And
Jesus fucking Christ.
And it's just, what the fuck? There was a Doctor Who fan on the internet. I told he was having this rant about SJWs and stuff, and I told him, you're being kind of mask off racist here, and it turned into this big hoo-ha, which ended with him calling the police on me, the Irish police. I don't live in Ireland. That did nothing. So here I am.
Wayne.
Here I am,
Scary.
not in jail. Not in jail for Twitter. Not in Irish prison either. I just imagine it's like having a ball and chain to your ankle while you peel potatoes. But
gotta prepare for the next famine.
And yeah, like the the thing I was also saying yesterday, I was having this discussion with Nick, saying like, I love Klonoa now. I fully consider myself a Klonoa fan. I've only completed one of the games, but like I love this vision, I love this idea, I love this character, and I love his world. And the thing I was kind of saying is, I want Klonoa absolutely to come back to the pop culture zeitgeist, and I'd be over the moon if they announced a continuation for this franchise. At the same time, that's gonna ruin this fandom a little bit, because since becoming kind of a Klonoa fan, and even making my first Klonoa video and stuff, Klonoa fans are just happy you've heard of the guy. They don't give a fuck if you prefer big yellow eyes or little yellow eyes or the blue hoodie or the collar. They don't give a fuck about that stuff. They're just happy you know who the guy is. And that's nice. It creates such a nice, respectful community. But like, all fandoms, when they get big enough for enough perspectives to come in, and when they get varied enough, like, I if anyone, am someone that should stay away from the internet with my opinions on media. Like, let's look at some of my favorites, okay? Spider-Man 3. Fucking Revenge of the Sith. My favorite Star Wars films are the prequels, for fuck's sake. Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. I like the Sonic Boom franchise. Like, I should, if anything, retreat to my little nuclear bunker when it comes to my opinions, because these are not common opinions by any stretch. At the same time, there are ways you can kind of utilize the backlash that you get. You can use it to prove points, you can use it to craft greater narratives, and I do not think that the Sonic fanbase is any exception when it comes to that. There are shills on all sides of the fence. There are MCU fans that will jump down your throat if you say anything negative about the latest MCU project. Do you need to do that? This film, and the people making it, have more money than you could possibly ever see in your entire lifetime.
They also have no idea who you are.
They also have, yeah.
Yeah,
You kind of have to ask, does this project need defending? And you kind of have to approach, like, is my opinion, or is it a defense? And if you're making a defense, how do you gauge it? Are you actually trying to combat another kind of opinion, or are you just putting your own idea out there, your own little defense? Because, like, I'll defend Sonic Boom, but I'm not gonna slag off everybody that hates it. I'm not. At the same time, I think, there's a lot of uninformed opinions out there. I think there's a lot of people that have never even touched those games that are just saying, oh, those are terrible. And I think, you can actually come to that assessment based on technical performances and stuff. Like, you'll be hard-pressed to say that Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric is a technologically well-functioning game. It's just not going to happen, is it really?
I think this sounds almost like the correct me if I'm wrong here, Pup, but this actually sounds kind of like just the major differences between having a discussion and waiting for your turn to talk.
Absolutely.
Like the amount of people that are just waiting for their turn as opposed to wanting to hear like what your reasoned take is.
And that's the thing, is people are jumping into these discussions with absolutely no intention of listening to what another person has to say. They're coming to these discussions because they have to get their bit in there. And the absolute epitome of that is the response to fucking Matt McMuscles. How you only really need one person to say, I feel that's in bad faith. And that's already apparent. And there are people constantly saying the same points. And I don't know if it was one of you guys, but someone I know said, I think he gets it. Why do we need to basically regurgitate the same point?
That was me.
Yeah, you. And someone said, because I said it, basically. They said something to the effect of, because I'm the one saying it this time. And it's no longer about a discussion. It's no longer a two-way or multiple-way conversation. It's about them screaming into the ether because they just have to get it out there. Their opinion is like an egg tearing their ass in half, and they just have to get it out. They will burst if they don't.
And I do think there's a difference here, because I do know there's an easy way this can slide into an accusation of hypocrisy. So I'm going to go ahead and head that off just at the pass.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between your opinion is not unique. It's been said 1,000 times. So don't say it in the middle of a sea of seagulls that are screeching at somebody on Twitter. And your opinion might not be unique, but you can still say it. Go make some content about it. I think there's a difference between those two things, because one of them is at least can be constructive. Your Twitter argument probably can't be.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Twitter is famously unnuanced. It's the difference between, writing up something, leaving out for anyone that wants to listen, and there's a difference between directly going up to someone and really asserting your opinion at them, There's a big difference.
Yeah, just on your points, though, like everything you guys have just been saying, especially on your point specifically about hypocrisy, I got to call myself out, because I do that literally on the show sometimes, where I'm just waiting to get my point across, and I think that's partially due to ADHD, and partially because I'm just an arrogant little fucker sometimes.
I do it.
We all do it to an extent.
Yeah, like I will like completely miss points. Like you guys joke about it sometimes. And I think we've all done this, where we say a thing and then one of us like, we literally just said that. Like we literally just said that. Like, oh, well, I was not listening, even though I'm sitting in a room and all I'm doing is listening to my friends talk. That's what makes it fun, listening back to the show, because it is. I already know my opinions, but sometimes I go back and I'm like, oh right, I didn't hear that the first time around, and I think it's just kind of how my brain's wired more than me trying to be a shit. But I think that is a good perspective to have. Is like, if you're just waiting to jump in there and spout off, like you're not. What are you doing? You're not learning anything. And Webster said it in the chat here. Listening to learn versus listening to win. And I don't know. I think it's all good for us, because we're all going to continue to do that. We're all going to continue to fuck up. But
and the thing is, even if you're listening to learn, it doesn't have to mean you have to change your perspective.
Yeah,
it just means
100%.
that you can open your mind to someone else's perspective. Like, accepting an opinion isn't the same as agreeing with an opinion. And I think Sonic fans, just as much as any other fandom, needs to learn how to accept opinions, just as I, as a Snyder Universe fan, have learned to accept that it's not for everyone, and just as those who absolutely adore the new image of the DC Universe need to learn to accept that there are people that think the DC Universe isn't complete without Superman, which I think is a completely reasonable perspective. Anyway, fuck you, Wayne. You don't like Sonic Adventure 2.
Ow.
I remember having a discussion with my ex's mother, who was an absolute just huge fan of Golden and Silver Age Batman, specifically those things. And I was like, I grew up with Batman the Animated Series, so for me, like, I grew up with a different Batman. And I remember having those discussions, and like, at first, because I was a lot younger and a lot dumber, I feel like what I was trying to do was convince her that I was right, as opposed to sitting down and going, okay, I can understand why you prefer this more goofy corny narrative versus the more serious, grounded ones. Like I think a lot of that just comes down to you get older, you realize, oh shit, my brain's not the only brain in the universe. Solipsism isn't real.
And it's
Another
like,
thing. Sorry, go on, Wayne.
Okay. I was just gonna say, like, as content creators, like, we do develop something of an ego, and I don't mean that to be too harsh of a word, but it is just kind of like
It's the word.
It's we get used to having our opinions known. We get used to having our say out there, and in discussions where like everyone needs a moment to speak, it can get hard to kind of remember that. I guess I don't know.
No, you're 100% right. And again, like I've been full on arrogant about it on Twitter before too, where and I've told you guys about this, where I have people repeat the things I wrote for scripts 4 years ago in my comment section, and like I've left comments, and I know it's pissed off some people. That's partially the point, where I'm like, before you say a thing to me, remember who you're talking to, which is me saying like I love this franchise. I've done my research. You do not need to explain Mecha Sonic to me. You know,
Did I ever tell you guys about the dude that came into my store and was trying to essentially quiz me on Metroid Prime?
Oh
no, but like that happened all the time when I went to the game store. I'd be God.
They were
purity testing your Metroid fandom.
This was the month after.
PTSD.
This was November of last year when I had just wrapped up Metroid month. And obviously this guy has no idea who I am, but he's trying to tell me things about Metroid Prime as if I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just sitting there nodding at him like, okay.
I think there's an element of like, you've got proof, almost concrete proof, that you do care about this franchise and that you have done your kind of research on it. Now, the thing I think a lot of us do probably neglect to realize sometimes, myself included, is that sometimes a person has done just as much research, but it just brought them to a different conclusion. But, like, again, that's a case-by-case thing. Something I was going to note is fandom has become political. And I don't mean that in, like, the geeks and gamers sense of, like, oh, I don't like how many minorities like this thing. No, fuck that. I mean in the sense that people are acting like the Sonic fans are this high council of what goes with Sonic, and also how people will like treat, you know, certain things as like, oh, massive misinformation and stuff like that. Oh, this review spreading misinformation about this game.
Misinformation campaign
it's
against Sonic Adventure 2.
The misinformation brigade. Like, let's not forget, I posted a joke fake screenshot of Sonic Frontiers' Green Hill Zone, and I had
that became real within 24 hours.
Which became real within 24 hours, and someone compared it to the January 6th incident.
To be fair, you literally could have changed an election cycle in the middle of Sega with that. I'm kidding.
No. The thing was like, oh, you're inciting violence against the devs, and it's like, you got that from a picture of Green Hill Zone?
Don't you know Green Hill is when genocide or something?
But it's like the court of Sonic fans has decreed that your opinion is unacceptable, and it's like, the fact is, there is such a thing as an unacceptable opinion, but I would say that's much more in the political sphere than in fandom spheres.
And in video game spheres. Like I can...
At the end of the day...
I can like Yu-Gi-Oh! Falsebound Kingdom, and then go, it's actually a piece of garbage. But I like that piece of garbage.
At the end of the day, I think that, like, a lot of gaming journalists, such as, like, IGN and stuff, do have a tendency to level bad faith criticisms against pieces of media. But I don't think that makes them piece of shit human beings or something. Because not liking a piece of media is, at the end of the day, very different from not liking an entire culture of people or something, you know? Like, there is a difference between objectively, morally wrong opinions and video game opinions, you know? I don't think there's much objectivity. I think there's some. I think you can definitely make cases to say something is of a poor quality. Like, Sonic 06 is a game I like, and I think there is a case to call it good, but I don't think there's much case to call it high quality.
Yeah, and that's...
I mean, I think that's a more of a conversation of, like, semantics than...
Yeah, it is. It's splitting hairs.
That's important, though, right? Like, and that's the point, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
I mean...
We have to agree on definitions, because that's how we communicate.
Because I feel like that's kind of more to Pup's point there, is that there is a discussion to be had there. There's not, like, really a direct answer. It just kind of opens the door to more, like, to more nuance, I guess.
Gilly had an allegory of like the Taco Bell allegory, but like because I'm more intelligent than he is, I think I've kind of restructured it a little bit.
Are you doing KFC?
Yeah, KFC actually. I was gonna say like it's the difference between food that is nice and food that is good. KFC's nice. It's not good. It's actively doing harm to your body when you eat that thing. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's nice. Whereas
I love it. Oh,
salad is good. It's not nice. I fucking hate it. Gross. And it's like, you know, there's plenty of games that I would say are good, but I don't find them to be nice. You know? And I think there's absolutely cases to be made that Sonic 06 is nice. I had a nice experience with it. You know, it's still not a great... The thing is, though, even then, when it comes to video games, there can still be an opposing viewpoint that I'm willing to hear out. Like, if someone said, I'm making up a case to say that Sonic 06 is a high-quality game, I'll have my questions, but I'm not gonna... Like, I'm not gonna say you're a fucking idiot, you know? Like, let me see what you have to say. Maybe, you know, certain qualities negate others. I don't know. I'm gonna hear you out. And I think another thing people need to realize, particularly on Twitter, and I think in Emmy's Discord server, they were having quite a discussion about this, is to know when people don't want to be challenged and be willing to back off, you know? Like...
Yeah, and I think a part of that is just kind of like, for each of us kind of coming to an own understanding of like, when our opinions are kind of more based off of a direct subjectivity and not really looking at it as an objective whole. It's like I can sit down and I can watch, you know, your smart people movies. But I like myself a good like slow methodical film. My favorite movie of all time though is still Pacific Rim, and that movie's dumb as fuck. But like, so it's like I can't defend that as like a great piece of filmmaking, but I can tell you I love it. I can tell you what I love about it.
I recall us also having like a discussion about Citizen Kane at one point as well. Like,
yes.
Yep.
We had that exact we had the Citizen Kane is Ocarina of Time discussion.
Yeah, like as I said, it absolutely is as good as people say it is, but like it's mainly because of the time it came out in. It's the innovations it brought. It's the fact that so much of film's DNA now began there. It's more that it's the progenitor of film today than it is that it's amazing and stands out in the pop cultural zeitgeist nowadays, you know? Like,
I suppose. But like, I feel like even back then, like that brilliance shines through, and if you're a student of the craft, you might appreciate it, or maybe even like the general vibes or the theme or the story or the characterization. Like, there's stuff in there that's gonna make sure that movie's always gonna be good.
Oh yeah, I fully I agree.
Yeah.
I think the film is fantastic.
But more to your point, like the ultimate point I was making in my every Jurassic Park game video, like that was like my second. No, it wasn't my second. My year one video was a Jurassic Park video, and the ultimate point where I was making was like, so the Super Nintendo game, it's Zelda and it's Doom, and Zelda and Doom are, I mean, by most measurements, far better games. Far better games. But
you got to play with a raptor.
Let me finish my fucking sentence every goddamn time.
Nope.
Cirrus.
I steal all your joy.
Jesus Christ, you must be a goddamn pain to be married to, you piece of garbage. Anyway, what I was going to say was I like dinosaurs. But yeah, you're right. It was the raptor.
We needed
that was
comedy
a Genesis
in this
game,
episode.
you dumb bitch. You piece of garbage. I mean, we do. I mean, we have our fair share of garbage opinions and stupid, terrible, horrible humor. But like, also, I think it's important for us to remind everybody, like, this is why we started the show, is because, fuck, we care about this, and it's important to remember the human element of it. Like,
we also pick people we trust to talk about it. Like,
yeah,
we do get our fair share of fan mail asking, "Can I be on the show?" And no disrespect, but it's an incredibly vetted process getting guests on this thing.
Super vetted. I've heard enough podcasts of parallel shows to ours, not naming names, but like they've had guests on, and I'm like, well, I'm not listening to a fucking minute of this.
It's honestly a miracle that Nick is still allowed in here. Like,
it really truly is. I don't even want to be here. It's ridiculous.
And the amount of company meetings we've had due to Nick.
I mean, I think Nick and I are now neck and neck, aren't we? Like we
we might be actually. at
half the
this
time
point.
it's
You're
both of
Nick
us.
and Nick.
Half the time it's both of us being dragged into the principal's office, and then
Look,
the principal
I mean-
says something that sounds sexy, and we both laugh.
We've all taken turns being the principal. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I will say this: for every down that we have had, there have been significantly more ups, and I would not have any other group.
My
Speaking
PP
of-
also works.
I
what-
tolerate you too.
I'm not.
But
Gay.
isn't that just kind of like the perfect little personification of the Sonic fan base in general? Right?
Aw,
What, that
classic
we're-
fans,
that
it's
we're not
okay.
gay?
You'll die off soon.
No,
Hey, you ain't getting rid of us yet, fucker.
they can't defend the classic games if they're senile.
As soon as Nick dies, they'll reveal the new Sonic redesign with the lankiest limbs you've ever seen, the longest quills, eyes that are entirely green, no white parts anymore, and it will be 4-dimensional. Fuck it. It will.
Sonic the Octodad.
It will transcend known spatial recognition.
If you didn't want Sonic controlling like a car, well, guess what, buddy? He now controls like a bullet train. He's literally always on rails now.
Amazing.
Can't wait for your Sonic game to play itself for you.
Somebody draw that, please. Someone from our community, please draw that.
It needs to be like okay, so you know those when you animate somebody going like really fast and like their lips start just like peeling to the side and
Yeah,
their skin is just getting really flappy.
Have Sonic doing that, grinding on rails around like a monument to a dead Nick.
I ain't never dying, bitches.
Uh,
Gonna hook my brain up to a Dreamcast.
I mean,
I don't
we've
know
all
how many
died at
times
least
I've-
once. Except Cirrus.
You-
Cirrus has never died.
You can back me up on a VMU. I'll be fine.
what
Yeah,
about the
I'll make sure to put you right next to my Chow data so you can suffer. Okay.
What about the
I'll kick 'em all.
PlayStation
I'm
version?
gonna kick 'em
What,
all.
what was that? The Pocket Station?
Pocket pussy, yeah.
Oh wait,
Oh,
no,
hell
that's not what it was at all.
Pocket bussy.
Hey, do they have those
Damn
that are
it.
like compatible with VR chat? Because I'm not going to put it past some of the people we met that they probably had pocket pussies hugging their dicks that whole time.
This is where
well,
we just
so this is-
derailed. Like, this is where
No, this isn't the place for the answers to that question, but we'll
There,
put a
there
pin in
were
that, I
people
guess.
receiving
Time
lap
for Hannick the
dances.
Hedgehog.
But I mean, I'm honestly
Fucking
like
damn it.
impressed that there's people out there that are like, I'm gonna go into this virtual world and I'm gonna give someone a lap dance. Like that's impressive.
Man, fuck Sonic. Why don't we just we become a VR chat podcast?
Oh, by the
Yeah,
way,
I feel-
guys, if you haven't seen the VR chat video yet, it's only at 758 views, so I know that some of you haven't seen it. Be sure to check it out. We went for a trip to the zoo, and next time we're definitely getting Cirrus with us.
let's have
want-
that conversation. Actually, that reminded me of another thing. I don't think any of you three can relate to this, and I've talked about this before. And I know this sounds like I'm being ungrateful, and I really don't want to sound like I'm being ungrateful in the slightest. But like, I think that those numbers show, because I've seen a lot of people in here saying like, "Hey, you guys could talk about other stuff. We'll listen just fine." Like, we appreciate you, we really do. But like, we started this off as a Sonic show. It needs to stay a Sonic show, and I think it's proven time and again when we deviate from Sonic, it doesn't do as well. And I can certainly speak from personal experience that is the case too. Even the video that is parallel to Sonic, so it did decently. My Boing Kid video this morning, for some reason, a month after I've uploaded it, YouTube's age restricted it, so I'm getting punished, and I don't know why, because the tone of it is no different from my speed readings or anything else. Maybe it's because I'm talking about like a real person and like the hypocrisy of them calling IDW copycats or something. I don't know, but according to YouTube, it is not appropriate if you're under the age of 18. And now I'm thinking about that. Like, I look over at Belina Productions, who's been like just getting swamped with like, this is not appropriate, or this is just for kids or something like that. Like, you
Yeah.
can't fucking win. Like,
And then
you are
there's-
pigeonholed.
There's even like I mean that's another discussion, but I think like YouTube, like the whole reason why they brought this copper thing in was because they were being held to account for inappropriately taking kids' data and stuff, and like they
Yep.
wanted to put videos on the YouTube Kids app so that kids could be able to safely explore that and stuff. For starters, fucking Elsa Gate is something to talk about But
Yeah.
then there's also the fact that, for example, a video like "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared" is marked as made for kids. So a kid could be unsuspectingly wandering through YouTube Kids like, la 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 la, I am a child, and they then see "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared," and then they're scarred for life. And
they
think
would just have the same experience that most of us had on the early form of the unregulated internet.
I am tired of us taking the accountability for YouTube's mistakes. Us, the creators, constantly having new policies inflicted on us when YouTube themselves don't even have their shit together. And it pisses me off. I think they absolutely need to face legal consequence. But then, knowing them, they'd pass that shit on to us.
Yep.
It's a fucking nightmare.
That's the thing, though. So I've been wondering about this for a while, because it's like, I feel like some point something's got to give. This is like working in a hostile work environment. Like, these are... YouTube basically is in charge of the livelihoods of countless people, and they take no accountability for their business at all. There's no HR department, there's no boss to go talk to when shit's not working right. It's just, hey, at them on Twitter and hope things work out.
And usually you'll get a robot responding. Well, I say responding. They're not responding to anything you said. They're basically just assuming what you said.
They've got a canned response algorithm for you.
What was that one, like, I think it was I Hate Everything. This was a long time ago that he made this video, and I can't remember word for word what he said, but it was something to the effect of when he was talking about videos just getting delisted, or his channel basically being on the brink of being banned.
Oh, was this down to Derek Savage and Cool Cat?
It was connected to that, yeah, and he was like, God, I almost tried to do the Tom Topics impression. But he was saying it was just like, if you were a doctor and you got fired from your job, but instead of them just like writing you a letter, giving you a pink slip, it's like you got to the hospital and the hospital was fucking gone.
Yeah.
Well, I was bringing it up not so much for us to, I guess, kind of vent about being content creators, but like, and again, like I know you guys can't completely relate because you have success outside of Sonic the Hedgehog. But I also feel like that contributes for me as a content creator, me getting a little bit fed up with Sonic. And I think on a different scale, I think that it's proven for Sunset City as well, is, like I didn't ever used to get this mad about Sonic. Like I did with 06 when it first came out, but like, then I just stopped playing it and played something else. And I feel like I'm just not allowed to like take a break for a bit. And I think that contributes to not just me, but some of the other content creators I've spoken to, where they're just like, I'm fucking sick of this community. And I can't blame them. Which, and again, like that's a broad brush stroke that we all have to work on, and we talked about earlier. But like, yeah, despite how many supportive people we have out there, yeah, sometimes that hatred just gets to you, and it's draining. It's so fucking draining.
It's easy to hyperfixate on negative comments as well sometimes. Like you could have could have 100 good comments and one particularly negative one, and it's easy to kind of fixate on that. But you've got to try not to. I think that is the thing, is there's a lot of people that scoff at when YouTubers talk about like that YouTube can be quite taxing towards mental health. And a lot of people will scoff at that, but it is true.
A lot of people just scoff at mental health stuff in general.
True.
I feel like I can relate to it on at least some level, because it's like, I have had some videos do better than I expected that weren't connected to Sonic, but Sonic is definitely like the most success I've gotten outside of like some very old Spider-Man reviews. But even then, that Sonic 3 and Knuckles video, that doubles anything I've ever done. And I'm just like, I don't want to be held hedge hostage for the rest of my life. And it's like, I think I finally came to the conclusion the other day. I was just like, part of the reason it's taken me so long to get this Digimon World video done, apart from the move, apart from like just being exhausted at work and everything like that, it's also, I'm scared of this video. I'm scared of this video, like, because this is so much work being put into this Digimon World video, and I feel like it's gonna bomb. And it's like, I shouldn't be in this just for the views. I shouldn't be in this just so, it gets a bunch of clicks or whatever. But I'm like, but that is like something I have to consider, especially as something that's starting to make money for me. And if this is something I want to do full time, I have to be a little selfish. I have to be a little cynical. I have to look at this as something of a business. And it's kind of frightening trying to work towards taking a risk on something that people might not care as much about when all that time and energy is going into that, and I don't know how that's going to affect the algorithm or anything like that. And it is really taxing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Eyepatch Wolf.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He just did a great, like, 2-hour video, like, sometime within the past week. Just all about those stupid, like, social media success tutorials and everything like that. And then it definitely morphed into, like, what it's like being a content creator and what it's like being in the work environment that is YouTube and everything like that. It's a really good watch or listen if you just want to like pop something in your ear. That's what I was doing when I was recording Klonoa footage. It's well researched for one thing, but then it's also just like hearing his side of like growing from a small place into where he is now and the stresses that come with every single step of that. It's I highly recommend.
Yeah, it's like the thing is, like we do want to come off like very self-aware. Like we are in many ways lucky to be in the position that we're in. There's probably a lot of people in this live chat working jobs that they hate, and like every time I kind of feel a little bad or like feel like, oh, I wasn't too happy with that episode or something, I often will think back of when I was working at that fucking gas station, fucking hating life, basically. And like, yeah, we are quite lucky to be in a position where every Friday we can get together and make videos and put a little bit towards our own little piggy banks through just talking about a character that, like, no matter how frustrated we get about him, there's clearly a love for him as well, even though we fucking hate him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, while it is a really nice thing to be able to be somewhat successful on YouTube, that shouldn't mute all conversation about the problems with YouTube as a platform as well. Like, we had someone in the chat saying, just walk away, what's the big deal and stuff. It's like, the point is, while we might be frustrated about aspects of YouTube, we still want to be here. We still want to make content. Like, we do this stuff because we like doing this stuff. But there are so many things in YouTube, be it its algorithm or just, you know, the safety stuff, that is just bloody minded. That doesn't need to be. There are elements where it's like, the creator should have a bit more power than they do. We shouldn't constantly have... We shouldn't have to take accountability for the fuck-ups that YouTube makes, because they are the multi-billion-dollar corporation, not us. Like, we're just people.
You are still allowed to just be frustrated with whatever you're dealing with. You don't need to focus on this one person who's listening to free content.
Yeah,
and trying
also...
to tell us one way or another. So fuck yourself, Rising Gale.
But
Thank
I will say, just very, very briefly, the stance, and because this goes for everything, right? This goes for a fandom, this goes for a job, this goes for anything. The stance of just leave it. Like, if you don't like the Sonic fandom, just leave it. If you don't like the Star Wars fandom, just leave it. If you don't like your job, just leave it. If you don't like your partner, just leave them. Like, I get that that's a really quick solution to a lot of things, but it can cause you to become alienated from everything you love. And in some cases, it can super negatively affect your livelihood. It's okay to want the things that are big aspects of your life to improve. It's even healthy to see things in the things that take up the biggest part of your day-to-day. It's healthy to see problems with them and want them to get better.
Yeah, and to, like, express your frustration. Like, I think the epitome of all of it is also... the top 10 system in the YouTube Creators Studio. There is absolutely no reason why the top 10 system should exist. It is there to stress you out. That is the only reason it exists.
I want to not look at it, but I also can't not.
It's the first thing you see. It's the most obvious thing on there.
Confetti at you when your new video does well.
And
like, for fuck's sake.
The other thing is, like, yeah, if you upload a video on a new subject that you think might be of interest to your existing audience, or you want to pull in a new audience, it will be like, oh, less of your subscribers clicked on this one. Oh, poo. And it's like,
did you know why?
Well, buddy, it's almost like I'm trying to get a new audience. You'll see a lot of YouTubers that say, did you know that only a 12% of my audience are subscribed? That's a good thing, because it
That's
means...
the problem you want.
Yeah, that means that your videos are being recommended to new viewers. So when I go on my thing and it's like 70% of viewers are subscribed, I'm not like, oh yay, they all subscribe. I'm like, YouTube, do your fucking job. I put a poll out asking my viewers, my subscribers, how many of you receive notifications when I upload? Like, how many of you have, received them when you should? And like 67% voted, yeah, we received it. That's still not good. Like, YouTube's algorithm's job is to notify the subscribers, not 60% of them, 100% of them. This is a multi-billion-dollar corporation with a built-in robotic algorithm doing the work for it. You mean to tell me that me clicking subscribe on someone doesn't guarantee me updates to their videos? I have it all the time. I got a buddy called Boba. I haven't been updated on when his live streams have been going up. Why the fuck not? I'm subscribed, aren't I?
Is this just like the therapy episode?
This
I
is the
feel like
this
has
was
been good
always
for us.
this was always meant to
No,
be the therapy
that's why,
episode.
and I'm muting the one that's just getting under your skin because it's just one person just being a pain in the ass. Like, fuck them, fuck yourself. You're not welcome here. Look, here's the thing, and I know this is like it is like a little bit of venting here, but like Sura said, it is healthy to do that. That is the ultimate point of why I wanted to have a conversation about Sonic discourse in general, because ultimately, like, stripped it away. I'm thinking of one specific conversation I had with a content creator, and again, not naming names, but they were just so fucking frustrated, and I don't agree with them about a couple nuanced little things, like when it comes to ultimately like what our favorite things about Sonic is like, absolutely not. Get that shit out of this franchise. This is terrible. This is a bad idea. But like when you have like just the conversation, you strip it away. It's just I want to love this thing without getting throttled for loving this thing. But also, I want to be able to take a step away when I can. And that's the point where like this person's like giving us like, well, like you're not like you can just walk away or step away from it or everything. Like we can't when our financial security is based off of this. I can't do a month without Sonic content. I would love to, because I feel like that would ultimately make me a little less frustrated with the franchise, with a lot of the angrier fans and stuff like that. And I think that this conversation is just healthy both for us and just as perspective. Like, remember that the people that you watch are human beings, and we understand that you also are human beings with your own frustration. And when you like have that conversation and remember that there's a human being behind every part of this, the creators, the YouTubers, the people taking this stuff in, like we're all just trying to make the best of it. We're all just trying to have a good time. And when you realize that when you're engaging with something and you're not having a good time, that's worth discussing and picking apart.
It is also... No, sorry, Wayne.
Oh, no. Just, I guess, real quick. I did want to kind of address another sort of comments. I'm not feeling, like, super defensive about this. I just always kind of thought the stance was a little silly. I just kind of wanted to throw my 2 cents in there. But, I don't know. It's just somebody in here talking about, like, YouTube is a hobby and I have a real job. I'm like... Well, yeah, I mean, I also spend like 40 hours a week busting my ass running a store. Like, I'm not out of touch with like the working class, if that's what you're getting.
The majority of us have some form of side hustle, like, because you do need one.
Yeah,
but
like,
I'm
also
it's a real
like,
job. It's my real job.
Whether it's Patreon or something else, like there are various ways to diversify your income, and it is pretty much essential. The thing is, people have different levels of luck depending on, I guess, the age of their audience or how passionate they are. Like, for some reason, I don't have much luck on Patreon compared to the other 3 here. But, like, I'm still finding other ways to diversify that. I'm wanting to start selling puppets on Etsy, as in, like, the digital puppets that I do for the Channel Pup stuff. Like, I'm just finding different avenues. I want to start doing freelance editing and other freelance bits and bobs just to keep things up. If it comes down to it, yeah, I will work for another business. Why not? But, like, the thing is, a lot of YouTubers are, by and large, self-made businesses or sole traders. And the thing there is, like, the whole have a real job thing is one aspect, but like without Soul Traders, we wouldn't even have those so-called real jobs in the first place. Like,
Well, that's
you know,
Well, that was kind of the point I was getting at. Was like, there's nothing about like having a retail position, you know, and doing what I do, you know, most of my weeks. Uh, to me, there's no difference between that and what I do for YouTube. Both are very real jobs to me. And I mean, what I'm doing on YouTube, I would not have been able to do without a lot of the skills and stuff that I learned through going to college and stuff like that. Like the degree that I earned, I'm actually putting to work through motion graphics, through some other things some people might not see in the background, like different animations and stuff like that. I'm planning to do some 3D modeling, rigging for, again, content creation. And the time, work, and effort that all go into that, I mean, the way I see it, it's more freelance. Sure, it's like self-employed, I guess, but it's like it's just making entertainment for people. It's no less a real job than anybody that works in the film.
It should be a labor of passion for you. You shouldn't need to get money for what you do. Entertain me.
I will say though, I do appreciate that Virus Ronson 82 is actually being really receptive in the live chat. Like, you know,
yeah,
it's a productive conversation, which is
yeah.
nice.
I didn't want to come down too hard on them. I just want to like that's just kind of the perspective I've come from on that.
Sure. So, but guys, like, not to. I know I kind of got us down this path, but also let's keep the bigger perspective here. This is not simply just venting about being a YouTuber. Like
right. Yeah.
It's like I don't blame people for being a little frustrated when they hear YouTubers, because every YouTuber complains about YouTube. Every single one of us, and not everybody can relate because I didn't want to hear it when I'm working like a shitty hotel job. Like I was desperate to get into this. Wayne, we're still trying to get you into doing this full time, for fuck's sake. But I think like the point I was making, not to devalue the frustrations we're talking about here, because it all kind of rolls together, is when you're forced to just talk about one thing, Sonic specifically, for this conversation, it can get under your skin. And the way YouTube is set up, as you guys have been hearing people frustratingly talk about, or vent their frustrations, what the fuck I'm saying, is the way YouTube set up is it will make you frustrated with your own subject matter sometimes, because YouTube says no, that's the only thing you're allowed to make. But for the sake of the fan base, like, I'm not trying to guilt anybody who's like subscribed to my channel for Sonic, because if that's what you're there for, who can blame you? I've said it on the show before. You can't get mad if you own a pizza parlor. You can't get mad at somebody for not, ordering a salad. Like,
hell no.
Like that's just the case.
The SparkNotes version, the short version of all this, that I think will break it down in a way that's digestible. I am grateful to be here. I am grateful for my platform. I am grateful for my audience. I resent that the platform isn't built better.
Yeah, because a part of it is that, and again, I know Nick and I have shared this sentiment lately. It's just kind of tired of talking to Sonic. I was originally planning on doing a Sonic Origins video, and I just got to the point where I was just like, I don't fucking want to. Nick, I think it was you that said it was like, Klonoa felt like a vacation, and talking about Sonic felt like coming back to work.
I mean, I'll say this. I've been pretty impressed with the audience on my Sonic Origins review, because my review was incredibly scathing. It was a very, very negative review. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that probably had good experiences and are willing to look past the, shitty business practices and the fact that this thing should have come out fucking 9 years ago. But, like, people were responsive and receptive. So I will say this. The Sonic fanbase has pleasantly surprised me on more than one occasion. More often it's on YouTube than on Twitter, and I think that is, to be fair, such is fucking life, really.
That comes down to Twitter being Twitter.
Twitter is made to avoid nuance, and I view it as my own little apocalyptic wasteland. I go in there with my little riot vest on and my little gun, and I go in and I have fun. Like, that's how I view Twitter.
I mean, that's kind of, that's kind of how you have to do it. I think this last little bit of just venting specifically about YouTube is a prime example of something that we need to do better as content creators as well. As important as venting and sharing your emotions are, it is also important that we realize when we are hyperfixating on very simple little things, because we have only had like one person just kind of being a dick about it, and a couple other people like just kind of sharing, a different opinion there, and we're hyper focusing on that when we have so many other people like supporting us and just engaging in the conversation, and just being here and understanding we are human beings and trying to be supportive of that. I think it's important that that is also taken into account, because I think even with the larger Sonic community, and again as a content creator, yeah, we, like you said, Pup, we will hyper focus on the people just out there, taking it out on us when they don't even know us as human beings. They're just mad that we don't like their video game. And I don't know, like, I think that's a healthy perspective for all of us to take, as well as like, fuck the trolls.
Yeah,
Just,
I mean, there's also like there's a reason why I don't show my fucking face on YouTube. People could comment on anything, and I don't want them commenting on my appearance. Like that's just, like
It's too late
Wayne,
for me.
Yeah, you had that really shitty comment, which was like, "No offense, not to be rude, but," and then just goes on a
And then just
tirade
like,
of
let's be rude.
rudeness that can
I
only
really
be
am proud of
taken
this
with
joke.
offense. Like,
Yeah, I was like, not to be rude, but I'm really proud of this joke. So let
Oh,
me just
wow.
lay it out
yeah, and
here.
I'm just like,
It
not
looks
to be
like a
rude.
recovering. I think they called me a literal recovering drug addict.
Yeah, and it's like, not to
Yeah.
be rude, but eat shit. Your joke sucks.
Wait, Wayne, you're recovering? I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah, good
God
job,
damn
man. Like that takes a lot.
I hate all of you.
It takes courage
Yeah.
and balls, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's, man, I just feel like I don't know. Every time I have this conversation, I have to like take a step back and realize how much of a hypocrite I also am, because I do get sick of the discourse, but at the same time, I desperately want to be a part of it. I mean, my literal job now exists because people are at least interested in what I have to say about Sonic the Hedgehog,
Yeah.
and I want to be known for other stuff eventually, but like I have solutions for that, and it's not a bad problem to have at the end of the day. Like I'll just make a second fucking channel, and that'll be my therapy. Be like, I'll still do Sonic, but over here, this is where I'm gonna get weird.
So you mean
Fine.
the thing I did with Neko Sir? So I was like, I'm tired of talking.
So you're
about
making
politics.
an-
I'm gonna go over here.
You're making an
Yeah.
OnlyFans, is what you're saying.
I mean, you'd all be so lucky.
This
So,
is what the VR chat streams are going to be for.
We're going to
Feeding
see.
Nick.
Turns
But
out that Nick
also-
also has breedable hands.
another thing that I'm going to bring this back to you boys specifically, because we are a little family now. We are brothers, and we do fight, and we get really heated and we get extreme. But I feel like no matter how many times I'm like, I'm fucking done. I think it's like twice now. I'm pretty sure it's twice now.
I mean, twice in like 65 episodes is not a bad. That's like, is that even 1%? No, it's more than 1%. That would be
But-
100 Anyways, fuck it.
1.75%.
I
Thanks.
feel like a lot of this, I just for our own personal well-being, like just giving you guys behind the scenes, like all of us have quit the fucking show at some point in between episodes.
Wayne holds the record for longest.
It's true. He followed through. He did the thing
Yeah.
where he walked away and went, "Nope, I'm just not coming."
Yeah,
I know
he
who
was
I
actually
am.
serious. Like,
It's like I came
I like-
back just to let you know I mean fucking business.
I
No,
think
but
it's
like what I'm saying here, just real quick, and I'll let you say it, sure, is like
yeah.
I think the other half of it, like no matter how heated or much we butt heads here, like give it to more of like the Sonic community situation here, is like I think it's also important to embrace the friendships that we make along the way.
the real Sonic frontier was the friends we made along the way.
I think that's just the important part, right? Like when you actually have these conversations, and this is ultimately what I wanted this show to be, outside of the gross jokes that I wish you would calm the fuck down on a little bit.
You
Pup.
literally
You
encourage
do,
them
Nick.
every time.
I know the sex ones that we
And
got.
the funny thing is, the second I took a week off for Comic Con, you were worse than I'd ever been.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, 100%. I'm not gonna lie, this is for me and you. But like, my point is,
Linda.
these conversations, I feel more often than not, go a lot better when there's an actual human soul that you're listening to, and not stuck with like 150 characters.
I take that as an offense because I'm a pup, or I'm supposed to be a pup. I'm not really a pup. I want to let the furry community know. I'm sorry. I'm not. I don't want to misrepresent you. Is what I'm saying. I'm not a furry.
Fucking damn it.
Well,
I think that's-
especially you don't want to call yourself a pup in that community.
Yeah, I know. It's. I was trying to make a joke, but then I realized now that The amount of people I get in my DMs that think I'm actually
and
a
then you
dog.
have to just go and do this garbage
Because
again?
you do this
I'm not
every
good
day.
enough for
Yeah, yeah. This is you, Nick. Is like you make points about why it's terrible, and then at the end of the episode, you're like, but it's okay.
And this is you. I'm not all these things. That's just gonna make people think that you are those things.
I'm not
So,
gay furry,
You're not gay.
but I am fat. I am a fat one.
Hey, so am I. We could be fat friends.
We can
We
rub
can go
our
have
tummies
burger
against
together.
each other, and we can like reach
can eat
each other's
burger.
assholes and eat burger.
I'm Wayne.
Wayne is Wayne. Yes.
You're not though. You're Wallace.
Oh,
Do we need to pull out? Do we need to pull,
we need to pull out the
hands
list, don't
again?
we? The,
I
pull
didn't
out
even see
Wayne.
that tweet at first. I saw it like the next day after I think it was like Miranda and Bowden were commenting on it, and I just saw the fucking thing. I was just like, oh my god, I hate you.
I just like the
I hate
ones that
all of
were
you.
the ones that were cropped out.
God damn.
I
Waffles,
do think,
walnut,
despite the
Walgreens.
the gross deviation, which I was part of as well, I take responsibility for it, and I don't apologize. But despite that deviation, I do think it is nice that with all of the shit we deal with on the show, and the shit being usually each other's company is the best and worst part. We do tend to come together afterwards and just be like, no, it's fine. We'll be back. We're not really quitting the show this time. Wait for next time. That one will be real.
And I think we've all learned. I mean, I've calmed it down a little bit. I want to say for myself, but like I'm always going to be aware, and I think this is also like the ultimate point about like Sonic discourse. I'm always going to be a little bit of a hypocrite. I'm always going to have a little bit of an ego. I'm always going to have a little bit of a short temper, but being aware of it goes a long way. And I think this show, not this one specifically, but the show in all, has also been very healthy for me in terms of how to tackle Sonic conversations, because we've had guests that none of us agree with, and now I feel like they are dear friends of ours. Like I want to rip Stewart apart every time he tweets about anything. I just fucking love that guy to death. I'm laughing like an idiot every time he's on the show.
I've just had an idea of a video for you when I get out to the States. It could be a live action one. It could be called How to Tackle Sonic Fans, and it's just you rugby tackling me.
I mean, I've wanted to do that. Be like just at the end of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, going house to house, just beating people up.
But this is the great
Just
thing is
drop
you do now have an outlet for that violence as of September.
I mean, outside of you, we are going to a Sonic convention, so
So we're just gonna beat everyone there up. It's just
be
it's
ready,
gonna
Sonic
literally
fan.
be like one of those Arkham fight scenes, just bouncing from enemy to
I
enemy.
did say in that Sonic Colors video, like I could probably beat most of you up. It's time to put up or shut up. You know what I'm saying?
It's as soon
The
as you
time
get
has
to the
come.
convention. As soon as you get to the convention, you step out of the car and you just hear the bouncer.
You know what I want for my booth over there? I just want to recreate the ugly Sonic booth from Chippendale.
Wait, so are you actually getting a booth?
I don't know for sure, but
If you're
Emmy
getting
and
a
Ant Dude
booth-
both have said like that's probably what's going to happen if you're a guest at these things.
Can I have a booth? I want to contact them. I want a booth.
I mean, at this point, why don't you just share my booth?
No, I want to sit
Yeah.
next to Ken Penders.
Oh god.
We don't even know if he's there. Why don't you just share if there are two
I'll
people
share
at the
with
booth,
Ken.
we can take turns. Pup, you do not understand. Like, we're not going to be able to do anything. We can take turns covering a booth if we both are at the same booth.
So wait, so it's gonna say game apologist on the front of it. You're gonna be in the shitter, and someone's gonna walk over and be like, "Hey, you look different. Where's the green hair?" I'm like, welcome back to Sonic speed reading.
That's
Can you imagine?
exactly what happens.
That, I mean, this is really the setup for a really garbage cartoon episode.
You need to make Pup your little mini me.
It would actually be so funny. Actually, that's an episode. Is like Nick gets into a brawl at the con, and Pup doesn't realize that Nick's been taken to a jail cell, and he's just guarding the game apologist booth.
If I somehow made enough money to go there, I would imagine at some point just getting a random I just get a random text from Nick just going, "Hey, sirs, I need to shit. Where's Pup? I don't know. I don't know where he's gone."
No, but they're
I don't
they're
know where
kind
he's
of like,
disappeared to.
And I'm just
have a
chatting with Ken
conversation about, like,
Penders.
Oh,
just like ironically listening and hanging on to every word of what he's saying, and just like,
I was told he's
Wow.
invited to those things.
this Lara Sue thing is awesome, man. I love what you do. Oh, I would have loved to have seen Sonic Armageddon. Oh, hell yeah. You really showed Ian Flynn who's boss.
But my dad knew better.
I really
who's writing
wanted
the
to see
Sonic game?
Jeffrey fuck Sally. That would have been great.
Oh my god. Is it Jeffrey or Joffrey?
I don't. It doesn't matter.
It's
Nothing
Joffrey St. Jen.
Amazing. Make Nick a really unlikable character. Don't worry, I do that all on my own.
I want to be invited to a con one day.
I mean, I wasn't really. I just kind of I went to people, was like, hey, I'm tired of not being invited to things. Invite me. And then they're
I
like,
bet you actually worded it like that as well.
I mean, yeah, no, that's literally
You've just
like,
got that middle-aged man, I don't give a fuck energy. Time to
I mean, that's
pay.
just kind of what it was. So it's just like, fuck, God damn it.
It was like
Somebody invite
you
me.
paid your dues.
That's a point
It's
though.
time.
Oh, Nick, I can't guard your booth. There's a like it's not on my visa. I don't have a business visa.
Oh my god.
I'm so tired.
No, that's not a joke. I
I-
can't guard your booth legally.
I'm really super concerned about. I'm buying a chicken. Is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring the tortoise. Just set him on the table, like there. He's guarding the thing, and I'll just carry on with my
I
day.
mean, I can guard the
Game-
booth from the other side, I guess. Just stand out in front of it and be like, hey.
So wait, do you need to make a whole new series called Game Apologist and Washington?
I mean, I kind of want to do that for like. I want to copy your thing. Just do vlogs for my patrons.
That gives me
Did I-
like
I-
Pinky,
I- I
Elvira, and
watched
the
a
brain
blind cat.
energy.
Blind cat and the fucking tortoise.
Cryptosporidian.
You know what? This is completely off topic, but I'm upset about this. I got Chinese food yesterday. All the fortunes were trying to sell me on Bitcoin.
No. That's shit. What the fuck?
Yep.
No.
It's the most desperate little move I've ever seen.
That's horrible. No, you do not
Yeah.
buy a fortune cookie for that. Imagine
I mean,
opening
it's-
up a fucking foreskin cookie and getting an ad, fortune cookie and getting an ad for fucking anything.
Well, that was a foreskin.
Let's just move it, move it along, move it along.
You just open up the foreskin cookie.
You say no
Welcome
more
to
sex
Raid.
jokes and then you dwell on just simple slips of the tongue.
I wasn't the one that said no more sex
That was
jokes. I was
totally
making a
intentional.
Raid
I don't
Shadow
believe
Legends
you.
joke.
For a second.
I'm just
Whatever.
sitting here.
No, you're not, Wayne.
Yeah,
Don't lie
well,
to
in
us.
that case,
We
Wayne,
know
why
what your
don't
hands
you?
look like.
Yeah, why don't you stand up? Oh, what's that? You don't have a lower half of your body. Oh no, you mutant. Sit back down in that case.
Did Pup say foreskin cookies? He did.
Thank
That's
you for
part of
the-
our lore now.
Thank you for the
Foreskin
And look for that shirt.
thanks for the art, Ink.
Oh, and speaking of which, if you do
Very
want to
accurate.
buy a shirt with a crocodile on it that says "You want to fuck my wife," they are for sale at the Sunset City gift shop. We also have a variant for the more extreme of you that says "Fuck my wife, I'm no longer asking." So,
You know, we could genuinely do like a Sunset City sign for Sonic Revolution.
We
and
should-
just be like
we could buy merch and sell it off at higher premiums.
those sad two-man groups. Like, well, where's the rest of the band? I don't need the rest of the band. Fuck them. Just doing state fairs. Just
I
drunk
mean,
on
we got
stage.
2 of the 3 key members at least, you know, so...
Just everybody leaves disappointed. Sounds perfect. I can't wait to get to that point in my age as an entertainer. Anyway,
So you want to get to the ugly Sonic section of your career.
we'll get there. I'll just put tassels on my green jacket.
No, for real, I want to get a tasseled leather jacket and, like, a cowboy hat for when I arrive in America. So I can just be like, yeah, I'm just an American like the rest of you.
I know he's going to do that too. Like, I know he's joking, but he's not really. Like, I'll just take him to. Like, it's going to be. You're going to be on the West Coast. It's not going to take you long to find a cowboy hat.
As soon as the plane lands, I'm going to have the American Dad theme music in my headphones.
By the time he gets off the airplane and I'm waiting for him, he's going to walk out with snakeskin boots and a.
And I'm just
Castle.
going to be like, howdy, partner.
Fits into a canteen. Like, where did you get the tobacco? What's happening? It's gonna be great. Well, guys, I think we kind of we got all of our systems. We vented quite a bit. Thank you for everybody who's been chilling with us for all that. Should we Should we move on to the super chats?
Well, I think that sounds like a mighty fine capital idea. Let's go ahead and read them. Oh shit, I'm in the wrong chat. I'm in the burger chat. I need to go over to the mailbag, yeah. Okay.
Burger.
So first up, we got Sony with $5 Canadian. I don't like those Canadians. They're just fucking snow Mexicans. But anyways, he says,
Oh boy. Oh boy.
what's something that won't stop? That's right. Hashtag Zavik Sweep. Hashtag ready for Zeddy.
We're gonna move on to Omega, Mr. Salty. With $2.99 worth of which I kind of looked at that after whatever the fuck that was. So thank you. Sorry.
Boaton, thank you very much for the $5. So it turns out I hate the taste of alcohol. I didn't get smashed, and everyone is mad at me for hyping up the event and blueballing them. Oh. Well, I don't like the taste of alcohol either, so I get
I don't
it.
either. So
It depends what alcohol. I mean, personally, I do like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
I like Blue Moon.
White Russian. The dude abides.
Wayne.
That's a reference I understand. We got Coolman Cottonham.
What a
With
great
$10?
name. Sorry. Cool Man. That better be his real name, Cool Man. Because, like, if I had a kid, I would call it Cool Man.
We have complimented this name before. I know we've done that.
Yeah, well, shut up.
Cool Man Cottonham with $10. You know, I personally think you guys should. I personally think you guys should drop the Sonic exclusive podcast and become a podcast about video game mascots, so you can still talk about Sonic, but also Mario, Crash, Klonoa, and TMNT.
So what you're saying is become the Scrimblow Bimblow podcast.
I wouldn't hate that name.
I wouldn't hate that name either.
Welcome to Scrimbo Blimblow City.
You can't even pronounce
Podcast for
it.
someone.
That would actually be the funniest part, is watching...
That would be, right? We just never say correctly.
Yeah, just watching each other trip over the pronunciation.
Welcome everybody to Scrimbly Bimbly.
Just grumble bumbles.
the Scrimblow podcast for the Scrungle and Scrongle age.
The
Rumble
Scrumble
foreskin. I don't know. Like I've not to get too behind the scenes, but yeah, I mean, I've toyed with the idea of us doing like a secondary podcast if we ever found the time.
I mean,
I'd
I
like to
pitched
experience
us doing AMC Movie Talk.
I don't. What?
AMC Movie Talk, we do that.
What is that?
It's AMC Movie Talk, the movie podcast. It usually has John Campion, or used to have John Campion as the center of it. But like, I think we should just do that. AMC Movie Talk.
Just do movies?
Just do AMC Movie Talk, man.
Just do the show verbatim.
No, just do that.
No,
then, you know.
Take their entire thing, run it through YouTube's transcriber, and then speak the episodes verbatim with all the typos the transcriber gives.
I think what we need to do is just get the arcade back up and running. We did a pretty good job with that when we were all into Fortnite at the same time.
And the VR chat arcade episode was pretty fun. People like that.
I want to keep doing that too. I thought that was
It
I
was
I
nice.
love exploring shit, and that's all that is about.
You guys
and-
game for some of that tonight?
You know, I think I
can't do
might.
it tonight.
What's that, Cirrus?
I can't do it tonight because Fridays.
Cirrus, you need to do the overtime.
Let finish his fucking sentence, Pop.
Every Friday is a tournament. It's why I've sometimes got time limits on episodes.
It's
That's
time
what
to
I do on Friday nights.
Die.
Leave.
Shut the fuck.
Just leave the tournament. Just abandon your hobby.
I mean, he did abandon us at TMG a few times to go be the very best, like no one ever was.
Yeah,
or
for
whatever.
fuck's sake, Cirrus. You abandoned
I
us.
got-
Now it's time to
I got to
abandon
play-
them.
I got to play a game of Magic with the guy that designed Murktide Region. I'm okay with what I did.
Forget
He
it.
gets
Time
to
for a
live his
bully
shonen
circle.
fantasy every week. Let him do it. It's
Bully,
fine.
bully, 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 bully. Someone join me. Bully, bully, bully. Okay, fine. We now have a super chat from OzJam H with $20. Gamers, here is moolah for your troubles. As such, however, I ask a small request. I demand it as I wish to have a brainwashed minion of yours. I demand it! I want to have you a good day, and may your future be hopeful. Thank you.
I'm very confused by that sentence. I wish to have as a brainwashed minion of yours. So are they the brainwashed minion?
Yeah, so
or
what
do
they're
they
doing
want
is
one of
claiming that
ours?
they are the brainwashed minion of ours. So as our minion, they're making demands of us, which is quite an oxymoron, but they're demanding that we have a good day and that our future is hopeful. So that's where it loops back into them being a minion of ours, I guess.
I'm very concerned that Pup is just going to speak like that the moment he sets foot on U.S. soil and just does not let up until he's...
Well, top of the morning, sir. It's good
There
to
we-
be in this God-blessed country. God bless the USA. That's how I
a bit
evade.
stupid, isn't it?
That bit stupid is a Tuesday, isn't it?
I mean, the in it isn't too different, is it?
Ain't
Holy
it?
shit.
It's ain't it?
ain't it? Yeah. Bit stupid, ain't it?
Bit stupid, ain't it? Just like when my daughter and my son made me some grandkids.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
All
that's a
right.
sign that you should read the next super chat, buddy. Go
I
on.
feel my life force draining.
Well, how about a Triforce instead? With Triforce.
Yeah, Sonic Forces.
$2. Thank you, Triforce. I'd like some fries, please.
You pay at the counter, not here. Huh? You think you buy it from us? You think we own this kiosk? No, you gotta go over there to get the fries, you know.
You're getting like very generous with those prices you had posted earlier, Pup. Like, what was that? Like $1.99 for fries and $4.99 for wings.
It's a Friday thing.
Oh God,
Jesus
serious.
fucking Christ. Os Jam, thank you very much for the $20. I do have a small request. I was wondering if any of you guys have full bodies of your avatars, as I like to make special drawings for you guys. No worries, no cursed ideas in mind for this at first. Thanks again.
Ozjam is low key horny for us, isn't he?
I like
I,
Oz Jam.
So I know at least 3 of us have full body versions.
I have a full body version.
I'm talking about half body Wallace over here.
Yeah, I got. Hang on. Wait, let me stand.
I made a character sheet at one point, although I should make a new one.
Actually, wait, hang on. Let's check who has legs. Sirius, you don't have legs.
Yes,
Nick-
I do.
Well, not here. You don't.
You cut off my legs.
I did not cut
So,
off your legs. I'm
my
working with
my
what you sent me.
design is based off my really old design from high school. So like usually he has like khaki pants and white shoes with green accents. I've been thinking though, and I've tested it a couple times in thumbnails. Like maybe I need to change that to black pants.
The way you pronounced khaki, because we call it khaki here, and you said khaki, and it sounds like you said you got khaki pants because you pooed them.
Yeah, I don't know. Should I do khaki or should I do black? pants in the
I want to
future?
see a
I'm gonna be
massive
updating
stain
my.
on them.
I'm gonna have to update this avatar pretty
Given
soon.
that you're
'Cause I
often
do
on a
need it-
black background, I would say stick with the khaki pants.
I mean, I'm gonna have to change that background. I'd like a more
Also,
vibrant.
they
green.
do. I can make one for you. They do suit the rest of the color scheme quite well as well.
I will take that. I will commission you. I'm really bad with backgrounds.
Oh
so if you
hell
want to do that,
Yeah,
I will
listen,
100%
man.
commission you.
You want me to overhaul your shit? I'll overhaul it. Fucking.
I will take it. Make it green. That's all I care about.
I'm just gonna turn you into
Alright.
green channel pup. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
Grenell pup.
What,
Okay.
Wayne? What is it?
So we've got Jamal Simmons with $2.
Wasn't even a disturbing conversation this time,
Yeah, it was
Wayne.
fine, Wayne. What are you fucking upset about, man?
Downright wholesome, Wayne.
Fucking get bullied, Wayne. Bully, 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 bully. Someone join me!
Wawa is Baba. You know what I'm saying?
No.
What a fucking khaki pant, man. Alright, go on, Wayne. Since you must read, since you just gotta be heard. Go on.
You know what
Wayne.
I realized? He was. I don't think I've ever said it because he was gone for the longest time, and he was gone a little bit today, and never once in any of these opportunities have I ever said Wayne is back, and I'm really disappointed in myself, and I'm sorry, everybody.
God damn.
I mean, if you're disappointed in yourself, you're disappointed in the rest of us because we didn't make that joke either.
I
True.
mean, usually I am.
So I'm taking full offense.
That's fine.
Wayne, come on. Just read the goddamn thing.
Jamal Simmons, $2. Happy B Theory Friday Milk Bro Forever Wallace.
Those were words.
Just the Wallace part just at the end just makes it now. It gets better and better. Also, you didn't refer to him as what he objectively is, Wayne.
I will skin you and make you.
Wayne, how will he know that he's still our pal if we don't address him as such?
Because you just told him, Fox Boy. All right, move on.
No,
God
Wayne,
fucking damn
say his name.
Jamal, our pal Jamal.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So, Aiden F. with $20. Congrats on graduating, pup. Here's 20 uni E6 dollars.
That onomatopoeia was perfect. What?
I like that he just
Wait.
gave sound effects to fucking emotes.
Thank you, Aiden.
They were just, for anybody not sure, there were like 4 party poppers, and he interpreted that as
No, what he did was perfect. I don't fucking understand how. How did
just
that
made
come out of
them-
your throat?
because he is a human party popper. That's why.
It all makes sense now.
When you think
Oh,
about it, because you know what a popper actually is a medication made to loosen up the sphincter for anal activities. So if you had like a party one, it could be one that expands it extra wide for a whole party of people to get in there. Why did no one stop me from finishing that?
If
What,
you
Nick,
reach
why
down
did
into
you
Puff's
not-
mouth, it's going to be the
None of us
same
gonna
content
stop
as a surprise bag that you'd find at a 4-year-old's party.
I just don't understand
you
why you
tried
didn't
to-
interrupt me and do your whole "okay, we're done here" thing.
If
Like,
you
where
tried
was
to
that?
if you tried to wash out Pup's mouth with soap, the soap would decay.
Look, Wayne, you've spent an afternoon in my head. We went to the funny fish place on VR chat. Like,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, we
great.
If you hit him with a baseball bat, I think he would bust like a piñata. I think he's nothing but not even good
You
candies.
think?
like
Wait,
Smarties and just like the cheap shit that you
Smarties are
don't
good. Wait, hang on. You're saying that if you hit me, I'll bust?
Yes.
yes.
Yes. That's exactly what he's saying.
Where are we?
Yeah, this is what
On
happens.
you.
We're
is-
under the.
This is what happens when you get a Cirrus fan to be part of the podcast.
Sonic XLR8 with 1.67 licks. Thank you.
No, that's
Uh,
£1
accelerate.
67.
It's fake Pokemon dollars. That's all it is.
It's Sonic Accelerate.
It's one of Her Majesty's
Oh.
British pans, you know?
Oh, that's clever. I like that.
Oh my god. Wait, you've got to refer to this next person as motherfuckamus.jpg.
Now, do you guys think that they meant to say Sonic Accelerate or Sonic XLR8?
I
We
think
should
that's
definitely
Accelerate.
make a big
That's really smart. If it is.
multi-decade
Accelerate.
debate about this.
That's some FUNEM stuff right there.
I'm making a
I think they
hydrosity
meant
joke.
to say Sonic Accelerosity.
This sounds like an
The
ID10T
thing is, you might be
error if
making
I've
a
ever
joke,
seen one.
but you're making a really valid point as well, and I feel like I want to discuss it.
I don't care. Let's move on.
I hate you. Alright.
All right, motherfucker hippopotamus. .jpg.
Yeah, that's
Thank
it.
you
That's,
very much.
That's definitely the name.
Thank you very much for the $19.99. I think during tech upgrades on the Xbox One X and Series consoles, creating a more stable performance, people have been able to enjoy it to its fullest potential. Just try playing Unleashed on PS3. Yeah,
That's
so
probably helped in reflection, to be fair,
And-
is like having a good
Andrew
frame
did
rate.
mention that recently in his
It-
big boost era video.
it has helped a lot that game was ahead of its time when it came out because it did not run well. They tried to do way too much
I
for
mean,
what
is that
the
ahead of its
consoles
time,
were.
or is
Is
that
that ahead
like
of its time? Fully
trying to
optimized.
be ahead of its time? Yeah, is it ahead of its time, or is it just badly Like, now we're going to be saying Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric was ahead of its time. I mean,
for
they
fuck's
got
sake,
CryEngine 4 working on a Wii.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I find that Unleashed still looks really fucking pretty
To be
today.
fair, yeah, it does.
100%.
It looks fantastic.
100%.
Like, Boom Rise of Lyric can't really claim much. I do think the game's actually quite good looking, but, like, you know, Sonic Unleashed looked like a fucking Pixar movie, man. Like,
The lighting was fantastic.
It
in that
was.
game. Anyway, it
was fantastic.
I think it's your turn, Pub. No, it's
No,
Wayne's
it's
turn.
my
Wayne.
turn.
It was fantastic.
We got Oofazig? Oofazig?
Ufazig.
With Oofazig R? With $5. In my opinion, there are objective parameters in the design philosophy of Silent games. Werehog wasn't mechanically bad, but it's just a different game overall.
Perfectly valid, I would say.
It's God of War.
The only thing I didn't like about Werehog was the turning cycle. He can't turn on a dime, and that pisses me off.
I'm
not
not gonna lie, I
here.
actually kind of like Slidey Werehog.
No, the thing the
course you do.
thing about not being able to turn on a dime was when you get to like those fucking balance beam sections, particularly in Empire City, meaning that he only has a turning circle and not just an individual pinpoint, made that so much more difficult than it ever had any right to be.
And guess which version of the game doesn't have that?
Oh, guess which version of the game is for fucking losers? Go fucking eat a hot dog, you fucking loser.
I will.
Oh, is it me?
Is
Is it
it-
my turn? It's my turn, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Mr. Krabs with $1.99. Here we go. Whisper says, "That evil twink stole my lemur girlfriend." Wait, I thought Whisper was the lemur. Or is Wayne saying that about...
Whisper is the wolf.
Yeah,
Oh,
Whisper's a
Whisper.
wolf,
Okay, so...
Tangle's a lemur.
Oh, right, yeah, Tangle's the one with the tail that Wayne wants to choke on or something.
Jesus.
Just the sex jokes in general. Let's just
Look, they like it, okay?
we can do better.
They like
Can
it.
we?
can do better.
Okay,
I've
okay,
tried.
Sam Wilson. All right. Well, let's do better then. What were you? Any more bright ideas?
I don't know. I'm just saying that we should. That's the point of
You
the
did.
show.
You didn't hear the
Thanks,
Spider-Man
Captain
2
America.
quote, did you? You didn't call out the Spider-Man 2 quote.
I don't care anymore.
usually
pup. I
do.
just don't care.
You usually do.
It's gonna be so
They're usually
wonderful.
a little bit more clever than this.
What? Any
I-
more bright ideas? Is very fucking
Look,
clever.
We are
I
going to be reading
cannot wait.
super chats for the next 3 years.
This is why I wanted to get to them. We were only talking for like an hour and some change because we take
After
forever to
all
get through
those
these.
complaints
Listen,
about YouTube.
I cannot wait to get DMs from both of you complaining about each other when you live together.
I can't wait for him. I can't wait to just have the opportunity to just walk in the other room and just slap him in the nethers anytime he gets out of hand.
Oh,
It's gonna
brilliant.
Be
There's going to be
fantastic.
assault now. This is great. Man
gonna be
fucking
great.
traps me in his basement and attacks me.
I don't
He's
even
gonna
have a
chain you up
basement.
and make you edit videos too. It's gonna be great.
You're the new Ezra Miller.
Fantastic.
Remember Ezra Miller? He was fantastic.
I think it's my turn. Go Kenji with 5 CHFs. So, is this about the fact that it is better for your health to delete Twitter? Ultimately, I think that's what it boils down to, right? Is like
That
if
is
we
actually
just,
kind of the truth.
just got rid of Twitter. Yeah. If we
We're
just
not
got rid
going
of Twitter.
to.
I
but-
yeah,
I'm not either.
I'll fucking do it again.
Yep.
You wanna fuck me?
I've got an addiction problem, and also it's a great way to get immediate news for things that we need to.
To be fair, I think anyone that has any kind of career in social media has an addiction problem because otherwise you just wouldn't be here in the first place.
Yep, that's fair.
I haven't made a video in 3 weeks, guys. My teeth itch.
I thought you were gonna say my
haven't been.
teats itch. Getting
No,
some of that
no.
udder sweat, you know.
I don't know
Serious.
jokes like that.
Serious.
Letterick, thank you very much for the incredibly.
no, above Letterick.
Oh, you're right. Nope.
You just didn't want to say the name, did you? You just didn't want to say that name.
You know what?
Flake.
Paisley Flakes. Paisley Fakes. Damn it.
There we go.
You're not even good enough to be my flake. Thank you very much for the $10. Can you become a Klonoa podcast? Thanks in advance.
I mean, can we though? Is the question.
Can we?
We're asking you for permission.
All right,
I
and then
would love that.
That would be very wahoo, I have to say.
and then we got Letterick with $50. Thank you. Jeez. Good
Letterick
points all
again.
around. However, I, being a fan of something on the internet, only respect opinions that are the exact same as mine. Sorry, that's how it is.
Eat your NFT, Letterick. Put it in the microwave.
Non-fungible Pop-Tarts.
But it's microwavable.
Thank you for single-handedly paying our way over, Pup's way over to the States.
Yeah, thank you. I love
You
you.
letter every week. So
No,
horrifically
actually,
generous.
genuinely, like, very painfully
I mean,
generous.
I'm always like stressed out. Like I hope you're gonna be fine financially. Pups, your turn, I think.
No, it's Wayne, isn't it?
I just did it.
Wayne just did Letterick. Yeah, so
I
it's,
did.
it's on me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
I
did.
I got Killer Cam. Whether it's a Cam for killers or a killer named Cameron, either way, they send us $19.99. Thank you. My friend thinks that objectively Sonic Unleashed is a bad game. Meanwhile, I think it's a great game that's ahead of his time and he just doesn't like. So, I wanted to know, what's everyone's consensus on Unleashed?
There is no consensus.
There is none. We will
That
be.
we-
here
I
for
guess they're
another
asking
2
for like our
hours.
individual verdict, I guess, maybe?
That is more likely. None of us truly agree on Unleashed.
My
None of us
answer is it's complicated.
Yep, mine too. I want to properly, thoroughly play through it and analyze it again before I have a general opinions, and I think it's both good and bad, and it's whatever. But
I said in my Klonoa video that a masterpiece isn't a masterpiece because it's perfect. And it carries over to Sonic Unleashed. I do think it's a masterpiece. I do have some very big problems with it. The biggest one of all of them being the Sun and Moon medals. But beyond that, I think it is a fantastic body of work. Zerus?
Pup, do you know which version of the game doesn't have the Sun and Moon medal problem?
Yeah, but you know which version of the game is just worse in every other aspect, man? I'm not gonna just kick Sonic Unleashed 360 to the curb just over the thing I don't like and be like, oh yes, I'll take the mediocre version instead. Fuck you.
I just don't.
Go
I just
eat a
don't
burger.
find the Wii version to be mediocre.
Okay.
I just don't.
No, that's valid, man. I want to give it a proper playthrough myself, man. So why don't you just go over there behind the grill and make yourself a burger then?
I'll make
okay?
myself a burger. Then.
Make yourself a
I'll
burger.
give myself a heart attack on
I-
this grill.
I call this the Sonic Unleashed burger because it
I
has my
wish I
hair
was
in it.
having a heart attack right now.
yeah, me too, Wayne.
Jesus Christ.
Nick,
Uh,
you're up with
Way past
Kid.
cool, kid. $1.99, thank you. Hiya, boys. Happy solar flare season. Missed y'all. We missed you too.
Wait, is the sun breaking?
no, we're
Feels
just
like
having
it.
an up. We're just having an uptick of solar flares right now.
Ah, we had a
They
massive
can
heat
can
wave.
cause some EMPs.
We had a massive heat wave in the UK recently.
Yeah, we did here too.
We had we
I've
broke a
heard
world.
that solar flares don't actually create superpowers, which I think is bullshit.
Yeah, we're not the Fantastic Four, but we in the UK in England over Tuesday we broke our record of the hottest temperature ever recorded in the UK. We hit 40 degrees Celsius.
Don't you like that the planet is melting? Get NFTs, right? That's great. Kill me.
God, I can see
Anyway.
I can see why Elon Musk doesn't believe in or I can see why Elon Musk isn't concerned about global warming because that man has not been out in the sun, and you can tell.
You don't have to worry about most of society's problems when you have enough money to pretend that society doesn't exist.
What I don't understand is, okay, they want to build ecodomes to make Mars sustainable. Why not actually, if the Earth is becoming unsustainable, why not build the ecodomes here?
See, it's less about logic, pup, and it's more about the to the moon mentality. But that's
They're
that's a
ruining-
conversation for another podcast.
They're ruining space for me, and I don't like it.
The next one we have is from 3Monic. Thank you very much for the $10. Which one of you goobers in chat is sending Xander Hall Sunset City clips? It's not me, but I know who it is.
Who is it?
That's Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs.
See, that would be a nut slap. That right there, the SpongeBob voice. Every
Hey, no,
single
no,
fucking
no,
time.
no, no, no. Okay, look, the rules are not the nuts. Okay, everything else is fair game, not the nuts.
Well, we're gonna make some new rules real damn quick.
No,
Keep
we're
doing
gonna
that stupid
no,
fucking
fuck
SpongeBob.
He's
you.
gonna have to make some new nuts.
I won't attack your nuts if you don't attack my nuts. That's how this is gonna work.
I mean, let's see who
You
wins that.
you attack my
battle.
nuts, I'll buy a fucking gun. All right.
But like, what's? I mean, you can do that. This is America.
I will get
me
one
just-
from Surus's, and it will be
Well,
more powerful.
what's the
I can
nut
just
slap
hand
worthy?
you mine.
What voices do I do that are nut slap worthy?
It's not so much voices; it's more just kind of your philosophies and who you are as a person, really.
That's valid. Wayne, your turn.
All right. We got 3Monic with
No,
$10.
no.
No. We got Christoph
Stupid,
77
dumb.
with
Idiot, moron,
Good.
fucking tosspot. Just
Like
read the
I
damn
knew
thing.
he was going to do it. I knew he was just going to get belittling, but just hearing him just say dumb with no extra effort just broke something in me.
Christoph77, $5. Hi, longtime listener since Nick's Sonic 1 video, and found you other talented gentlemen through this podcast. Keep up the great work. Thank you.
The system
And
works.
personal thank you from me, Christoph. Thank you, because yeah.
Thank you, Christoph, and happy 77th birthday.
Oh God, your turn, pup.
Yes, back again with Christoph77 with a $5 PS message. Thanks, man. PS, what are your favorite or just plain terrible Sonic fanfics? Mine is Sonic High School, as read by Kink and Friends, not Kirk, Kink. It's a terrible mess. Anything by POW Comics, anything that gets me nutted, gets my engines revving, gets my hands a hankering, you know.
I can't say I partake in fanfics.
I have also not read one.
You know, you
I
could have just
have
done what
not
I
read Sonic
did
ones.
and just literally gone for the cursed answer, but okay. Okay, we're gonna just
I mean, at
throw me
least
under
you
the
had
bus
your-
like that, huh?
No, you saved that answer because
I'm never,
like,
I'm never answering these questions first ever again. You guys can go first next time.
otherwise it's just been like, no, we don't read those. I feel like that's a little bit hypocritical of me because I know like a lot of my more popular videos are me just like, I don't know, just like looking at a thing like, well, what if it meant this? It could mean this even if it didn't originally mean this.
I mean,
or
that's a
garbage
theory,
like
not a fic, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Like,
a
I'm-
theory, or it's
A fan theory is the reason why Rouge refers to Sonic as Big Blue. A fanfic is demonstrating the reason why Rouge calls him Big Blue.
well, I mean, I don't get as literal as Matt Pat. It's more like here are some interesting themes you could play with story wise with this. But yeah, it doesn't matter. The point is, I don't read the fanfics. I'm sorry, just not my jam.
He's read some involving Sally and he knows it. Anyways,
Well, I mean, am I actually reading?
I mean,
He's reading with his hands.
you mean to tell me you don't appreciate the storylines in pornos?
Not usually.
That's the best.
You know,
bit.
there's some good written stuff. Though.
Just eating my popcorn while watching.
But again, not usually the fanfics. So
What? There's official Sally porn?
I'm sure there is.
Read the next super chat.
OzJam H with $20. Thank you. Sonic is and will always be a cherished thing to me. It basically made me be creative in what I create, but I also enjoy other things that inspire me or made me who I am today. No matter the love, you need to enjoy other things. I think to even go further beyond that point, and this is speaking to myself as well as anybody else, you also need to be able to disassociate a little bit between the fiction of it all and understand that you might be getting a bit too heated about things that don't really need that level of emotion. Again, that's all going to me as well, because God, I've gotten heated, still do, with anything Sonic related. So,
You want to fuck my wife?
sir, is it your turn?
I know, but I want to see how long this goes.
No, God. Things to do
Way
today.
past cool kid. Thank you very much for the 1999. I've been playing Sonic Origins nonstop. It's got more good than bad in my eyes, especially as a Switch gamer. I see this collection as invaluable to the Switch market. It's a significant improvement to Sega ages.
I hardly disagree, but you do you.
As in, like, you disagree hard, or you don't disagree much? Like,
Hard. Disagree hard.
I would far prefer to play the Sonic Ages versions of Sonic 1 or 2
Yup.
than Sonic Origins.
I mean,
they fucking
it's-
work.
I'll say this. I'll say this. It's the only. What are you doing?
I don't know. Ask the programmers why the fuck Tails keeps doing it.
Oh, okay, valid. I see what you're doing. So, from the standpoint though that it's got like Sonic 3 and Knuckles on it, I like it as a Switch game as well. It's your way of playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles as a Switch game. I can see that point of view. Like it doesn't personally change my own, but I can absolutely see and accept that point of view. And if any of you disagree with me there, you're gonna be hypocrites. So move on to the next super chat.
I'm just, well, no, I gotta. I'll save it for a video. I don't want to put. It's the thing, man. I don't want to keep putting that same fucking energy over and over and over again when I'm already gonna put no script. I'm tired.
I'll suck your ass.
We're already doing that for Sonic.
Chocolate Slurpee.
Anyway, where are we at here? I think we're at Nicole plated. Is that right?
Nickel-plated.
Probably. Wait, no, it is spelled like Nicole though, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
No. They explained it to me that it's nickel plated.
nipple plated.
No, not
With
that.
$4.99. Was the upcoming IDW Tales 30th Anniversary Special comic already discussed? No, it wasn't. Thank you, Nickel Plated. That was an important bit of news that we have kind of skipped over. I wish we had written that down. Yeah, they are going back to the classic Sonic world with another story. I think Flynn's writing this one, which I'm happy to see because I really loved his 30th Anniversary classic Sonic story. So yeah, they're going to focus on Tails, and they're bringing in Witch Cart from that garbage Game Gear game. But I am
hell yeah!
excited to see more of that. Yeah, I'm excited to see more of that goofy nonsense make a reappearance.
They do dig deep.
It deserves. And I'm glad that they're finally allowed to dig a little deep, for God's sakes. Like make use of all this crazy stuff that's in the history of this franchise.
Speaking of deep digging, any of you guys noticed that Sage, the villain of Frontiers, has a red swirly in her hair, and given that it's red and white, kind of evokes some Dreamcast kind of energy. But if you want to go back a little further, in Sonic Boom, the TV series, there was a villain called the Dreamcaster, and he had Dreamcast swirlies for eyes. So yeah, dig deep, man.
I saw that comparison for Sage. It does feel like a bit of a stretch for me because the swirl's more of a blue in Europe or orange over here in the States. But it's also being written by Flynn. I don't know how much he had to give in terms of how you designed the character, but we'll see.
Did you know that the music when they do the interpretive dance battle in the football episode, soccer rather, is a remix of the Sonic CD menu music?
That's interesting. But it's referencing things, so that makes it meta, therefore it's bad, pup.
At what cost?
God damn it. Thank you very much for your 10 fake Pokemon dollars. I enjoy Origins mainly because of 3 and Knuckles. I've experienced problems with it, though. I also agree with all the criticism against it, including the corporate practices. I know I'm part of the problem.
There is no the problem. The problem is Sega.
Yep.
That's the reality of the situation. It's no good airing your grievances with the fans. Air them with Sega. But remember, don't harass them. There's a line.
Voting with your dollars is a fallacy.
And boating with your dollars.
Because people with more dollars always will have more votes.
And boating with your dollars is a dream.
Oh. I see what you did there.
One of them.
I love watching that art community interact. I swear, it's become like a little sitcom for me now. I can even picture the little laugh track. I love them from a distance. I don't ever want to talk to any of them. I'm joking.
Oh my god.
Well, let's keep going. We have to force Wayne to talk again.
Oh right, Wayne.
Right.
Verbal.
We got Daza S.
Nope.
No.
Pay better attention,
Dumb.
Wayne.
Oh, excuse me. Pay better attention, Mr. Fucking spend 20 minutes on one topic.
Silence.
All right. We got. Is it Akashoden?
Yes, AKA Shoden. Yes.
With $10. Not to be rude, but I appreciate your videos, guys.
He was bouncing off of the whole person calling like a drug addict.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That's adorable. All right, pup.
What? Yeah, he's fucking. Okay, Mr. Krabs with one Krabby Patty 99.
I'm keeping a tally here, just whenever you're ready, sir.
Tally for Sally.
Dicks out for sticks. Wallace and Pup are the crews of the Bob Burger. Wallace and Pup and the crews of the Bob Burger.
I think he meant to say
no, he did, but I don't care. It's now a cruise. It's on a ship. Wayne and I are going on a cruise. Imagine that, being locked on a vessel in the middle of the ocean with me Wouldn't that be brilliant? Wayne, man, would you like that?
I would have a really difficult decision on my hands. Drown you or drown myself?
I would have a fantastic time. I'd be with my buddy on a cool cruise ship and stuff. It'd be great.
Way past Cool Kid with $1.99. Streets of Sun City Rage mod win. And not only does it show us...
Did you get the name of our own fucking show wrong?
What are you talking about?
You said Sun City.
Did I say Sun City?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, my apologies. Streets of Sunset City Rage mod win. Not only would they just like swap out our sprites so we have things that look like this, but instead of actually beating up the enemies, we just beat up each other. We didn't know we're in this stage. I'm into it.
Next one
All
we
right.
have is from Mr. Krabs with $1.99. Tiny Wayne, more like Lil Wayne.
Oh, speak of the devil. I don't know if it's caught up for you on the stream, but I made Wayne tiny.
God damn it.
We got Redwalker123 with $20. I was playing Sonic Forever and 2 Absolute. Oh,
That's
2
the name of them,
Absolute.
Yeah.
Then went back to Origins and say to Sega, stop rushing Sonic, please.
I imagine playing Sonic Forever. That would be a very long... Is the game long? I would hope it's long with a name like that. I know what it actually is. I know what it actually is. I'm making a shitty
So
joke.
why are you continuing this terrible bit of...
Because, game apologist. Because. Fuck you. That's why.
Yeah, feels like it. Your turn.
Xander Johnson
Oh, boy.
sends $20. Thank you, Xander. Mr. Carr.
Someone will laugh eventually, I'm sure of it. Bowden with $2. I have not gotten my wings and fries yet, Puff.
Why are you asking me about this? I told you it's the kiosk. You
You're the
need to
manager.
talk to the kiosk.
Next one we have is from Stardust Phantom. Thank you for the $2. This entire episode is just a homie moment.
Homie,
Nope.
you want
And
to
we got-
snuggle, homie?
I
Oh,
specifically
marriage.
don't.
I want to
I'm actually starting to feel Wayne's exhaustion because it does feel like anytime there's a chance of like a fucking burger or a fucking Homer, we're gonna be here. An extra, like another 5 minutes is added to the fucking tally of the
damn
show.
it.
I really appreciate the super chat, but yeah, let's.
We got OzJam H with $5. I did say I am here to confused and bamboozle you train wrecks. I will.
I am confused and bamboozled.
Oh my god. Oh.
So Black Yakuzu 94. Come on, guys, we're gonna hurry this up. $20. Thank you.
Ah.
Here's $20. Please take a mini break from the toxic abyss of the internet if you need to. We'll keep that
Thanks,
in
Black
mind,
Yakuzu.
thanks, and we'll keep that in our pockets too.
Much appreciate you. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun when we start getting into convention season. We got Pup over here to harass in real life. It'll be a lot of fun.
You harass me? What is this, Soviet Russia? Just read the goddamn thing.
OzJam.
Come hurry up,
H.
Nick.
Do you think this is gonna go the same as it does with you and Wayne? Because it's not going to.
What are you gonna do?
I will cancel you on Twitter.
Fucking cancel me on Twitter. I live for that energy.
Oh, dear God.
$5. As the great Pup said, I'm not gay, but I appreciate it, Nick. But horny I ain't. That is a statement I just said.
I just love when this guy is threatening me and then has to say the great pup. That could not have been timed better. Thank you, OzJam Age.
No, it's fine. Again, you're gonna be in my house, so I'm just keeping that tally going.
You fucking invited me.
Yeah.
Our house. In the middle of our house.
Oofa Zig, thank you for the 10 Brazilian dollars, I guess. The earlier subject is the difference between blind defense and hate and well-constructed arguments. Often I defend things I dislike because I think the argument is irrational and vice versa.
So you just like playing contrarian, is what I'm hearing.
Devil's advocate.
Oh.
I do like doing that myself a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Oh,
the
they
advocate's
enjoy the
fantastic.
thought experiment. Speaking of which, the ship of Theseus, guys.
Whose turn is it?
I don't know. I think,
Whose turn is it?
I think Wayne. Wayne.
Is it Wayne's
Wayne, read.
turn?
Wayne.
Uh,
Yeah, it's Wayne's turn.
Okay, so it's Mr. SP with $10. I can't understand why Nick's Boing Kid video is 18 plus, while Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is on YouTube Kids. That show is like Monty Python if all the writers were high on acid.
Based.
You know, Phantom Strider also messaged me on Discord. Like, yeah, I only told you guys about that. I didn't think anybody else would notice. But yeah, this morning, YouTube said that my Boing Kid video. I mean, I did mention this earlier too on this show. That's probably why they know about it. Never mind. I'm an idiot. I keep forgetting what we actually talk about on the show. Never mind.
there is
I don't get it either.
something sussy about that actually, but I'll talk about that after the video's over.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my turn, right? Okay. So,
Yes.
Right. So Wayne past cool kid, get it, Wayne, sends a $1.90. You laughed. Sends a $1.99 party popper or potty pupper. What the hell would that even mean?
That's
Potty
his.
pupper.
That's in his own free time. We don't discuss that.
Is
on
that
the
just
show.
me taking a shit? What is this?
It's just talking about your kinks. I mean, there's a reason why you won't shut up about a poo cam.
The Surus poo cam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
specifically.
Because I imagine they're very unique.
I
And collectible.
there are some there are awkward things people have drawn with me, and I don't need that being one of them.
Oofa Zig with 10 Sonic R's. There's bad faith criticism with Sonic stories, i.e., it's a cartoon blue hedgehog, so any serious Sonic story is bad. But people can dislike serious Sonic stories for valid and personal reasons too. Yeah,
That's fair.
and
Yep.
that's why all these essays exist.
Video essay.
Imagine
Worker
if
essay.
any of us made videos.
Sus. It's your
On the
turn.
internet?
You
Sus.
think people would
You've-
just do that? Go
You-
on the internet and
you
share
boys,
videos?
boys, you cannot keep joking around between super chats. We have to be quick.
I turn you into a hat pup.
How does that even work?
The rim is a foreskin. Wayne, let's go.
Nah.
Cyrus, it's your turn.
God damn it. Is it my turn?
Yes.
I'm gonna
Oh,
put my
shit.
ass in your ass if you don't start reading.
Okay, green eggs and ham. Let's get I'm sorry. Mr. Krabs, thank you for the 199. Whisper. Also, he's going to ruin Tiny Wayne life.
So is Tiny Wayne the original and Clone Wayne is the clone? I want to know.
Wait,
I need to know the geography of this story.
which Wayne is the?
I think Tiny
Oh,
Wayne
God.
is the real one.
Anyway, we got Uzafig with $5. FYI, I donated Brazil currency. It's around
20 cents.
Sure. Don't worry about pronunciation. It was random username I made up as a kid ages ago.
It matters. I want to hear it pronounced correctly.
Yeah, it's Ozymandias Fig Newton.
And speaking of which, Way Past Cool Kid sends a $1.99. Way Past Cool Boing Kid. 3 and K plus CD2 and Insta Shield and Tails Assist in 1 and 2. It's valid. It is definitely valid. Even if I don't agree, it's valid.
All right.
Nick,
Oofa Zig with 2 R's. You guys ever discuss Sonic GT in the podcast? I'm sure we have.
I don't think we have.
I feel like
I'm actually fairly certain we haven't.
Wow.
I remember actually, before I even knew Sirius and Wayne, I remember like DMing you on Facebook saying, Nick, have you ever tried Sonic GT? It's actually really good. That's back when our conversations consisted of seriousness.
And then I was also like, no.
And then we got comfortable with each other.
Yeah, and then I sent you a
Yeah.
picture of like a fish with like a male human body that I drew. I gotta find that. Do you remember it? Come tell me you remember that.
I don't. Oh my
Oh,
god.
I gotta find it, man. You loved it. You thought it was brilliant.
That sounds like something I'd love.
Yeah, he had a penis too.
So, sir, it's your turn.
This one is from Mr. Krabs. Thank you for the 199. Nick/Sally watching Wayne arcs. Everything's on fire. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, what about that? I mean, that's something I would binge. Why the hell not?
Yeah. And we got Redwalker123 at $20. Pup would be the guy say to his friends, "Alright guys, I want you scream really loud at my ass."
Oh, what?
I want you to scream really loud at my ass.
One time, I was running up some stairs with my friend who was ahead of me, and he got to the top of one of them, and then he squatted over like he was gonna fart on me. So I punched him, and I punched the fart, so it went around my fist.
How do you punch a fart?
It was just like stepping on a duck. So it just was like, it was great.
So that one time at band camp.
Yep. All right.
Up.
Pub.
Oh, sorry, I was looking for the fish. Hang on. Right. Okay. Where's Arnold? Sends $4.99 and has nothing to say. Thank you, Where's Arnold. You are officially a certified yogurt male.
None of us have anything to say either.
It took me months to realize that he was only associating people that just left money without saying anything as yogurt males, and I just think it's the most precious thing.
Hell yeah.
OzJam H with $5. Guys, come on. I need to bring some madness here. Thank you, pup. But I will put rehash levels in your home. I'm in your walls,
No.
small gremlin.
You can't
Here.
do that to me. I built this company. You know how much I've sacrificed?
Back to formula.
Back to formula.
Great hit.
No!
Your walls.
Infamous.jpg. Thank you for the 1999. How are the plans going for the pup cross-country adventure? Love to know the current plans.
We have got my planes booked. But
Yeah,
we
so
don't
right
know
now...
yet if it's going to be
Dream
a full-on-
booking.
Uh-huh. Nick, you speak. Yeah, I'm confused. You speak.
Well, I mean, like, for right now, Pup's going to be joining me at Sonic Revolution in September, and I have a couple other conventions. I don't know if you want to join me for them or not. Oh, yeah, because October's Retro Game Show.
Why
So
would
we'll
I
be
not
up
wish
there.
to join? Yes, I
No,
wish to
both of
join.
those are West Coast, and they're not
West Coast
mean-
is best coast.
like 5 to 7 hour drives for us, so it's really not that bad. But the one in Georgia, I want to figure out because that's in November, and we'll be really close to Cirrus and Wayne at that point.
Also,
So
dude, you would love having a road trip with me. I never shut up. That's a joke. I actually do get quite quiet on road trips.
I imagine you do. Like I said, like when it's just the two of us, like you're a very, very quiet boy. Sometimes.
I generally get occupied by poking my head out the window. Not gonna lie. You gotta let me do that.
Actual
I found
dog.
the fish. I found it. I'm gonna put it in the back rooms.
Amazing. All right.
Here he is.
Uh,
Hell yeah! Wait, there he is.
It's me. It's me with Mr. Krabs with $4.99. Evil Wayne. I finally ruined Wayne Life Vector. Fuck. No. Wait. This is wrong.
Yeah,
I
go
messed
on.
that up.
Try again.
Okay. Evil Wayne. I finally ruined Wayne Life Vector. That's it. You're done. Eat Evil Wayne. Wayne. Oh boy. Luckily that wasn't me. Vector. Twink.
He's really taken that time way past cool kid called you a twink has really caught on.
I wasn't ready for that last bit there. God damn it.
Nick, you have checked the back rooms, right?
I'm
Did
about
I-
to.
Did I
I'm
tell you
about-
guys, Sirs, did we tell you about the Sephiroth that we encountered in VR chat?
You remember him, right?
Yeah, so there was this, so I had I was using an avatar. It was the protagonist from Persona 3, if you know what he looks like. And there's this guy in a Sephiroth outfit, and it was like bugging out. Like that avatar was like not well. And he's walking around, he's making some like fan noises coming out of his mic, and then he like gets right up to me, he's just looking down at my face, and he's like, "Are you a femboy?" And like he kept asking, and I didn't know what to do, so I just like got down onto the ground in a fetal position until he went away.
You reacted
you
so
didn't
much
know how
better
to
than
react.
me, though. Like
It
that
was so funny watching you two. Oh my god. Like you had like a 12-year-old try to kiss you, pup, and you
Yeah, I
just-
hated that. I ran away. You saw.
Oh yeah, he just ran away.
I
in
was
the back
like,
rooms,
oh,
and then-
and then when we were at the zoo and some kids came into that server, I was like, God damn, just like the real zoo, it's ruined by fucking kids.
It was so funny. Oh my god. But yeah, no, like Wayne actually has you have a what was it? You have a rift?
I have an Oculus Rift, yeah.
Right, so it's tracking his movement. So I was just watching all this happen as he just slowly went to the fetal position, like he's trying to ward off a bear attack, and it worked because the dude was just like with that horrible fan in the background, like, "What are you doing? What's happening? What are
He
you
kept
doing?"
farting down the microphone as well, which was the point where I blocked him. I was like, "Yeah, not having any
It
of that."
actually, he actually just left. He was just like, "Oh, I'm not interested anymore," and left. I was like, it actually worked. Like Wayne survived. You would survive in a wilderness.
Dude, though, there were some tremendously homophobic people in that bar.
Oh
There
wow! In VR chat,
were.
no way.
Yeah.
That's why we went and sought refuge in the fish place.
This is like we're living through a very stupid episode of a cartoon. But we're whining about the Sonic community, but we spend a little bit of time in any other community, and we're like, you know what? Not so bad.
It felt like that Family Guy episode where they go to the multiverse and it's like, oh, now we're in the bar universe and there's people dropping F-slurs and stuff, so we open another portal, go to the Fish Kingdom. We found ourselves in the pizza maze with that weird demon that was eating a sub.
That was awesome.
The Batcave was quite cool. I enjoyed
That
the
Batman
Batcave.
was very weird.
The
That
Batman fella was weird. I mean, you're on VR chat, it's full of fucking weirdos, isn't it?
You just like spent the first part of it just like what? Like
The-
on a
le-
5-second interval. It was so
You can
weird.
Let's be
you
real.
can meet legit. God damn it, sir.
I'm gonna be real, right? The majority of people that are on there because they cannot socially interact in person.
And I mean, you do meet some legitimately awesome people on
Mm-hmm.
VR chat, but you gotta look around.
And also, that place has got to be an absolute fucking breeding area for the Epsteins of the world.
Oh Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Point is,
Also,
there's people no matter where you go to.
It's a problem,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Pup, I think you have the last super chat.
All right. So,
Nope. There's 2 left.
No, there's 2 left. Okay, so you have the second to last.
Okay. So, Mr. Krabs sends $1.99. Says, T and W have a happy ending after Evil Wayne death. Who's T and W?
Tangle and Wayne.
Tangle and Waynesper.
Well, I'm glad we finally got to the conclusion of this long, winding saga.
No, I don't think so.
We're not there yet.
I don't think we're there
I
yet.
was talking about
It
the
ends when-
dramatic conclusion of the Wayne saga.
No, it ends when
I
Krabs
don't think we're
decides
there
it's
yet.
ended. And also...
That was Evil Wayne is dead. That doesn't mean it's over.
Yeah, like, there could be a more evil Wayne.
literally just said there's a happy ending.
Yeah,
There's a
happy
whole
ending to
clone
that
saga.
chapter. Like,
need
everything
to-
has an end, but that doesn't mean that...
I'm fine with that being the ending.
Like, can I just point out, okay, there's a game called Final Fantasy. You'd think that would be the last one, yet there's sequels to it. So I guess it goes in the same vein as that.
That doesn't make any sense at all because the Final
Makes
Fantasy
perfect
isn't
sense.
it's not an ongoing continuity. They are all in separate universes.
Yeah,
this
but
is one
in a
ongoing
meta sense,
saga.
in a meta
Oh
sense,
my
it
God,
has
get to the next
advertised
super
itself to be
chat.
saying,
Okay, I
I'm the
will.
Final Fantasy, and I'm just like, you're not though, because there's a Final Fantasy 2. Anyways,
OzJam H with $10. Pup, you're struggling to have everything you want while the world tries to make you choose burger or poibles. You have to decide which shall rule your vocabulary.
okay, so you didn't even try to do a Defoe voice for that.
No.
What kind of green are you? You're more like the fucking just grey fucking
I
normal
want
goblin.
to get on with my day. I want to get on with my
This
goddamn
is
day.
your goddamn day.
OsJam H, thank you very much for the $5. One final Sunset City. Nick, I think I saw a possible Mechasonic in the newest Scrapnet cover with Sonic. Just thought you would like to know.
Yeah, I know. We talked about it earlier on the show.
I'm here to help speed us along.
The
But
show.
thank you for thinking of me when you saw that in my weird particular obsessions.
Oh,
God,
we
that's
have
right.
got a continuation. Be careful what you wish for.
We got Mr. Krabs with $1.99. Also, Whisper and Tangle. Thank you, Wallace.
That seems like a nice epilogue if you ask me.
It's not over.
Capton, Grinch Green. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, sounds about right.
Well, that's the end of the episode then. Plugging time. That
All right,
that
whose
wasn't
turn?
meant to sound foreboding. I'm just saying.
I mean,
My
who's got?
favorite.
Did you, Sturris? Did you order everything we needed off Bad Dragon?
Yes, I did.
Why don't
actually.
we-
It's all right there. Suction
Why-
cups included.
Why don't we plug each other?
Okay.
Okay, I'll start by plugging Game Apologist. So, also,
Bend
Ultima
over.
Troller, don't even joke about that kind of stuff. But yeah, so Game Apologist is a channel on YouTube, but he's also got other social media foibles. He makes videos about many such retro delights, including, but not limited to, and people do need to remember that, Sonic the Hedgehog. And he talks about a lot of comic books and shit, and yeah, he's a lot of fun. He's a hoot. He's a hoot.
Thank you. I'll do yours too. Then leave Cirrus and Wayne to jerk each other off. I keep saying not to do it. Nick, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with me?
You're not so different, you and him.
I love flipping burgers, Batman.
Yeah, Channel Pup is a super charming dude and a phenomenal commentator and editor in his own right. He's actually helping me with a video you guys are going to be seeing very soon. We're finally doing Sonic speed reading about issue 50. And he was kind enough to take up the editing of that since I have a hellish amount of work before the end of July, so I can make sure that sponsors get their July whatever it's called. They have to get done before July, so you guys are getting like a lot of videos from me, even though you've been waiting for like 3 weeks. But that aside, for Pup specifically, he recently, and I think he's the first of the four of us to talk about Klonoa Fantasy Reverie on his channel. And it's very fun watching somebody who's never had experience with this franchise before take it up and listen to his perspective. Because no matter how much we argue, he always has something worth saying. So I think you should go check that out and help him hit that 100K mark by the end of the year, because he certainly deserves it.
That's incredibly wahoo of you. Thank you, man.
No problem.
Before we pass the floor over to Cirrus, who has to suck Wayne's dick, we do have my good pal Marshall143 in with 25 dirhams saying, just wanted to thank you guys for sticking around even after all the BS with this community. Thank you. You're so welcome, honestly. You're more than welcome.
Next, we have Wayne, who is a wonderful human being sometimes when he's not speaking to you privately, because that's where the terrible, like, violent thoughts happen.
That is true.
It is very true. But Wayne has a wonderful channel that we are trying to help him be able to make his full-time job. He recently made a video on Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and it's actually one of the videos that's done incredibly well on his channel. But if you want probably one of the best videos on his channel, it's actually not that one. It's the one about balloons. I'm dead fucking serious. You should watch the one about balloons. It is the video right before the Sonic 3 and Knuckles ones. Please go watch his video about fucking balloons.
It is as caring and comprehensive as you're ever going to find for that game.
I'm just gonna give me a second. I'm just gonna.
Are you navigating to my channel?
I'm just gonna.
Who's this Cirrus fella?
I actually wasn't navigating to your channel.
Oh, you're plugging.
We're supposed
I
to plug
see.
each other, Wayne.
Balloon
Wayne.
video.
Alone video.
Anyway,
Balloon
well,
game.
we've got Cirrus the Skeptic over here. He's a good friend of mine. I like this guy. I tolerate him to a larger degree than I do most people. So he does a lot of like political commentary stuff over on his channel. It's very entertaining and at times educational. And so if you ever want a reason to just go be like upset with the world, oh wait, that doesn't sound like a very wait. So if you ever just want to be disappointed in humanity, fuck, goddamn. Yeah, if you ever just want to, if you want to just go help out Cirrus, he's doing some videos. Talking about Ben Shapiro being a stupid dum dum. He's talking about like a bunch of people being cringe. And go check out Cirrus's channel.
Oh
that
my
one.
god, what happened?
Oh no, boys. Oh no, it's that time again. Oh god.
What's that? Oh god, don't you
It's-
fucking dare.
It's that time again.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
oh,
Oh,
it's-
no, he's back.
we're gonna have to leave. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh
Oh,
god.
they've eaten
Oh,
two
Noah.
of my friends.
Damn it.
And now 3 of them. Wait, who's playing that music? Who's
We're gonna get.
Oh,
We're gonna get us.
Oh,
no,
no, he's
get that
back.
music
we're
out of
gonna
here. We're
have
gonna
to
get in trouble.
leave. Oh no.